Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you see,
Yeah. But I love that ending, the way it all shaped up and
I
how
gotta
the
lower you
freeze
guys. Yo,
happened.
what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the unveiling of season 2 of the next podcast, guys. It has been a long time coming, man. I saw the episodes and the numbers kind of increasing, everything like that, and I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't want to go to like episode 1000 and take up all them digits and the titles and all that good stuff. So we are starting seasons in 2019, and I think it's going to go throughout the entire year 2019, and then 2020 will be season 3 and whatnot. Guys, we are coming to you with a fresh coat of paint as well. And before I'm gonna give you guys just a quick look at what's going on with the show. But guys, I gotta do the intros, man. It's all about the panel. If it wasn't for the panel, we wouldn't have a show at all. So, first off, I have to take that name, Rookie of the Year. I'm going to have to take that and retire it, man. I'm just going to say this guy has one of the most entertaining and opinionated YouTube gaming channels that I have seen out there on the interwebs. My brother, Knoxximus!
yo, what's really good, everybody? What is popping?
Yeah, brother, season 2, dude. I'm nervous. Like when I first started this show, man. This is absolutely
it's
crazy.
2019. Right, we got the Triforce right here. K Mega, Xbot, good old Knoxximus. We about to get it in with some hot ass topics, baby. Let's get this in 2019. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And with him saying that, let's go to one of the founding fathers of this show. You know him as the king of the A button. He is always coming live from the 405. My brother K Mega.
What's happening? Man, we got it looking fresh and clean up in here, and especially starting it off with my gameplay. It can only be right and fitting to 2019. You know what I'm saying? So that's great. Glad to be back for how many episodes now, man. It just feels good, man.
I think we're
you know what I'm saying, glad for the progression, and
20 man, or something like that, man. I don't even know anymore.
I don't even know anymore. I just show up and I'm here to talk a little shit, and then I go on and get to some gaming. But other than that, man, I'm enjoying Odyssey. I wasn't at first because I was Origin is the GOAT, but Odyssey now, since it's a turn of events, the cult of the cosmos, boy, things is getting hot. So yeah, man, I'm enjoying gaming. I'm enjoying life right now. Hope everybody had a great New Year and a good Christmas, man, for real.
Nice, brother. And I gotta say, brother, like I feel like it hasn't been so long since I came together to talk games with you, man. GRG last night, dude, that was a crazy show, man.
That was a wild show, and you fell victim just like everybody else does. And watch as I killed the Klansman. Thank you. Yes. Anyway, so I found the ass. I had to let them have it. But yeah, man, you fell victim too. I was like, man, we're gonna keep it 2 hours. We're gonna do it, and you brought up and you fell victim too. So I don't know what it is, but it was a great show. It was fun. I had I got a lot of hits from people on Xbox and on like just private messages of talking about what you was bringing up about the whole DLC situation and all that microtransactions.
Am I causing a buzz right now? Like,
you
what
was
the hell is
causing
he
a little
talking
buzz.
about?
You was causing a little buzz, but that was good. It was fun, man. I appreciate you coming on, man, and yeah, man. Just anytime you want to come on, man, the family's always welcome, bro.
Yeah,
for real.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. It was a lot of fun. Of course, the gamers on that panel, you put them together with, people from Next, and we're bound to go overtime. That, we just love talking about games, giving our opinions out and stuff like that. It was an absolute blast. Guys, yo, check this out. If you haven't been following K Mega, you can look at his gameplay and look at the ticker right on the bottom. It'll tell you where you can follow him on Twitter. It'll tell you his channel. So go ahead and subscribe, follow him on Twitter. We got that going for every single panel member. Now, check this out, guys. I'm going to be doing a lot more work, more work behind the scenes, because as you can see, we got K Mega here, but I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to bring it right to Knox right now. And I have to do this all manually. I'm going to have to switch the gameplay and stuff like that. I'm going to have to get used to the timing. But this is Knox kind of like gameplay and his background. Every person on the panel is going to have their own dedicated scene with their own dedicated set of colors and stuff like that for the show. I hope you guys enjoy this. It's something I've been working on for a couple weeks right now. I figure since my brother Knox is from that rotten apple right there, we had to give him a city background. And I feel like that came out really well. Of course, Knox, if you want to incorporate anything else you could think of with your scene, please.
Sleeps, baby.
Yeah, brother. Please let me know. Not only that, guys, check this out. If somebody for some rhyme or reason says something and it was just kind of like that cringe moment where you're like, oh, we do this right here, we will hit them. Oh. And it's not working now. Look at that. Look at that.
It just wants to see some of that
Knox.
Knox.
I gave it the fail. I gave it the fail. All right. I gave it the fail. And let's see mine right here and if this is working. There we go. We got the O. But yeah, we got a bunch of little things within the show as we talk about topics, as you know, our personalities are shared and stuff like that. You will see different graphics pop up, all that good stuff. Guys, I did get a couple messages on the DM on why the logo is black and white, and I just want to let you guys know right now. Basically, when I look at the gaming industry, I look at it as a very black and white, cut and dry industry. And what really gives it its personality or gives it its color, of course, is the gamers out there. Whether it's the gamers, the developers, it's the people. You know, people that come to share their opinions, talk about gaming news. Of course, the gamers front and center that are playing the games. And those are the people that really bring the personality into the industry. So that's why the logo is black and white. As you can see, the starting soon is black and white. But when we get into the gameplay, it's just massive amounts of color and everything going on. And I felt like it was a good representation of how it's the people that really give the industry its personality. So that's where I wanted to go with that. But I know you guys are tired of hearing me talk right now, so let's get into the topics. Let's start with The Last of Us 2, guys. You down to talk about that? Because there's some craziness going on with The Last of Us 2. First of all, it seems that they are hiring people to work on The Last of Us 2 in terms of its multiplayer. Now, it seems like they are doubling down and they are focusing on the multiplayer a lot more than they have in the past. Yo, Jesse, huge shout out. Thank you for supporting the channel, hitting up that super chat. Jesse, it is great to see you in the chat again as well. I know you've been working a lot, so it is really cool to see you here with us live. But they are doubling down on multiplayer, but not only that, with the multiplayer, they are talking about gaining awards while playing multiplayer and playing the game in terms of cosmetics and stuff like that, and a store. So when they're putting in a store in a game, people are like, oh, here comes the microtransactions. And I've actually seen people complain about this. So, yo, let's go to K Mega. Mega, what do you think about them? You know, we got a Sony PlayStation first-party game. They're going to focus on the multiplayer and really give that its attention. What do you think about that? And how do you feel about, you know, the microtransaction thing? Are you thinking it's a good idea, bad idea? What's going on, man?
No, I think it's a really good idea. I think the progression for PlayStation, what they need to do in order to be an all-around complete console system is to have plenty of multiplayer games. I mean, that's in order to make people stay on your platform or your console of choice. It's basically, you got to have it all. And that's one of the things where Xbox has got to fix on their end with single player games, and it's something that PlayStation has to fix with their multiplayer games. So it's like they can package up and get marketing rights for all different types of shooters, but until they have that one shooter that can compete with Gears, Halo, then it's still just, you know, those games could be also played on on their competition. So I mean, just doing this, adding some in-store credits, I don't see anything wrong with it. I seen some person tag me on Twitter today with some crazy talk about I hate microtransactions, it's trash, you know, and I'm just kind of looking at it like, and then they brought up Assassin's Creed. And look, I'm not, just because I'm starting like Assassin's Creed now, doesn't mean that I'm going to defend everything that it does now. But the thing of it that I do like when it comes to microtransactions is that especially with these games, that they give you an option. It's not like that you have to be forced in order to play or to progress into the game. Microtransactions is if you want cosmetics, or if you don't have the time to put in 100+ hours into some of these big games, you could just go through it and play this option. Or if you want to level yourself up, it's all about options at the end of the day. And maybe some gamers will frown on it, but it's just an option. And especially with single player games like that, with Assassin's Creed, it's not affecting or hurting anybody. Now, for what PlayStation needs with The Last of Us is implement those same type of things on a strong multiplayer game. The aspect of The Last of Us was really dope. They just didn't put all of their the eggs in the basket. They just threw it out there just because I guess they wanted to just see how it worked, and it worked fine. So this could be the ultimate game that PlayStation has, to where it has multiplayer and also having a single player.
And I gotta say, when it comes to gaming, Xbox platform, I will say Xbox gamers, we are kind of spoiled, man. We get the single player campaign whether you like it or not. You could point to like Halo 5. People are a little skeptical on the story when it came to Halo 5. You look at Gears. Gears had an awesome story. Some people are a little skeptical on the multiplayer side. Some people really love the multiplayer side. But at the end of the day, a lot of Xbox's first party has that single player experience and that multiplayer to really go in for a high replay value. And I think that's something that, I'm glad Sony is focusing more on that. I do want to give a huge shout out to Sir X-Man for dropping that Dub City on the super chat, brother.
Woo!
Thank you so much,
Sir X-Man,
for that support, man. Damn, man, I definitely appreciate that. Yo, Knox, what do you think about Sony's focus here, and how do you feel about microtransactions? Like, from what I saw from the article, they're talking about cosmetics and stuff like that, how your character looks. And with me, I have no problem with that. It's when you start getting into pay to win, and there's no real signs. I haven't seen any real signs that they're going into any type of pay to win type scenario. So what do you think about Sony focusing on multiplayer with a game that's really known for the single player? And then how do you feel about microtransactions, man?
All right. Well, first and foremost, right, let me just say this. The Last of Us had a very good and deep multiplayer that a lot of people really didn't know about. It was a very well done multiplayer. I played it a lot, and a lot of the guys that I played with on PS3, we played it, a lot, and it was a very good multiplayer. So that they want to do this and expand on it with The Last of Us 2, I say absolutely go for it, because it was very well done. It's just, the platform just isn't known for its multiplayer content. So it kind of, it was like, what should I say? Like, it didn't have a lot of buzz. There wasn't a lot of hype behind it, but it was a very good multiplayer. So I could see why they want to develop this further with part 2. And as far as microtransactions go in the game, I don't like anything pay to win, but they already had them in The Last of Us 1. So I don't understand why they're making a big deal about them being in Last of Us 2.
Really? Hold on one second. Let me definitely, I want to ask you more on that. But yo, Sir X-Man, with dropping that Dub City, he issued a challenge to K Mega, and it seems to be a Soul Calibur challenge. So, Mega, are you going to accept this challenge from Sir X-Men to go in on Soul Calibur, brother?
Yeah, man. If his old ass don't go to bed, I mean, me and Don and Livewire and Flip, we're gonna finish Halo 3 on Legendary, and then I'll be ready for doing whatever. I'll be up all night, so I'm not tripping. Yeah, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? I've been ready to to get out here and start playing some Soul Calibur.
Just make sure you use Geralt though, my girl. Use Geralt.
Oh, I use Geralt, and I'll use my you know what I'm saying, my Queen Bee Ivy. So yeah, whatever.
Wow. All right. Well, you heard that, Sir X-Man. He is down, but of course he's got to do other things first. So maybe his old ass might be going to sleep. I don't know.
I'm not going to sleep. Look, man, this is already done. We got to stream and finish Halo 3. We're over halfway done.
Yeah, so I heard you guys are having an absolute blast going back to play that game too, by the way.
What I'm saying, look, it was great at its time.
At its time.
The story is fantastic still, but you just those controls for anybody out there that wants to go back to the old way that Halo used to play, I don't know.
Do it. Like, don't do it.
Y'all need to stop.
Oh shit, it's the Don.
Oh, we got the Don?
What?
Yeah, man.
Oh, well, we'll wait for him to talk. But dude,
real quick.
You said The Last of Us 1 had microtransactions. Did it have like pay to win, or was it more cosmetic?
I mean, nah, they had like these talents that you could buy and shit like that. You know what I mean? Kind of. It was weird, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't really mess with them too tough then, and I still don't. You know what I mean? I'm not down with the whole pay to win aspect, so I can absolutely understand why they don't want that in the game, and it shouldn't be in the game. It shouldn't. It would be best left as cosmetic, but to address what people are talking about Assassin's Creed with Odyssey, bro. First off, they weren't in your face, and they were absolutely unnecessary. That's one thing. It wasn't like Ubisoft is constantly badgering you, hey, buy this, buy that shit. Nah, if you want to, and I can understand having the option, like Mega said, right? Yo, some people work, man, 50-hour shifts, man, 50 hours weeks, you know what I'm saying? And they want to come home and enjoy the game, and they don't got time to do that grind and level up, and they willing to pay 5 yuckers to go ahead. Just don't this, and this is single player. So this is your experience. In multiplayer, that shit is unacceptable. You can't do that in a Destiny or in an Anthem, because then that's just game breaking. But in a multiplayer, in a single player game like Odyssey, that's on you, bro. You don't have to. I didn't. I just spent a dime and I ended the whole thing. I killed every member of the cult of Cosmos. I had a great time in that game.
Yeah, and dude, we do actually have some of that in your gameplay tonight as well. Dude, I was watching your gameplay. I'm like, man, I don't know if this is quote unquote spoilers or whatnot.
It is spoilers.
So it's gonna be really interesting. I can't wait for that to pop off, man.
I'm just gonna have to turn his off, man.
Yeah, don't watch it, Meg. I was gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Spoilers, don't watch it. Everybody else, it ain't spoilers for y'all, man. If you didn't beat it by now, you ain't never going to.
Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man again, putting in that huge support for the channel, for the show. He says, yo, I ain't scared, and I'm wide awake, and I'm ready to go. I got Mountain Dew and Jack Daniels and beer. I'm good to go. When your boy get it here
I hope
today.
you put that Mountain Dew and that Jack together, though. Lord have mercy.
Yo,
I think one's a mouthwash.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, check it out. It is the Don. What is up, brother?
Not much. I didn't want to stop the flow because I know Knox was in the middle of his point.
You don't want to interrupt Knox, man. Then he starts going crazy, and before you know it, you have a situation. You don't want to have a situation.
You just gotta let it. You just gotta let it out, and that's fine. Just let him let it out. It's all good.
So all right. So yeah, we and Don will go ahead and we'll get with it, and then Sir X-Man will be doing some Soul Calibur. So don't worry about it. I'll be there. I'll be up.
Yeah. All right. You heard that, Sir X. But Don, what do you think about the look so far? The new look of the show, man.
Yeah, I like it. More gameplay, less is more sort of thing, and I'm a big fan of that sort of thing.
All right, cool. And we do have gameplay from the Don tonight. So guys, you're going to be voting as well on Twitter, on my Twitter at xbot448, and it's going to be between K-Mega, Xbot, of course, Knoxximus 1, and the Don. So that's who you're going to be voting for. That's the gameplay you're going to be seeing tonight. Don, I got to ask you, when it comes to, The Last of Us 2, they're hiring, they're doubling down on multiplayer, they're putting a store in, and, people are talking microtransactions. I got to ask you as well, man, what do you think about Sony kind of realizing that they might have to put more into like multiplayer when it comes to their first party games. You have the single player and the multiplayer aspect. And what do you think about microtransactions, man?
You know, I don't have an issue with microtransactions like a lot of people do. In regards to that, I think it's matured in a lot of ways where it kind of subsidizes other people's games that don't want to pay for that stuff. You know, perfect example is the content in Forza Horizon 4 versus like what you saw in Halo 5, right? The microtransactions what allowed that game to do so well, allowed to donate back to the community. It allowed people to, you know, they didn't have it all the time to grind. They were able to unlock, you know, cosmetics in the game, and it keeps the game alive for a longer period of time. And then people that don't want to spend the money but want to put in the time, they can get it. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing. I think with, you know, you have that company, it's kind of known for doing single player games, and when they're trying to create a multiplayer, I mean that's where the replay value is. So you kind of have to add that, and you know, if they want to add microtransactions and that's what justifies and what keeps people engaged, I don't really have a problem with that. That keeps the game at $60. It keeps people engaged. I just don't see a downside to it as time has gone on. But you know, someone can always screw it up. I just don't see them doing it. I think there's good business models out there these days. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, with all this being said about The Last of Us 2, you know, there are people out there now. The rumors are starting up again in terms of this game dropping in 2019. Like basically, you know, the single player is going to be ready. It's going to come out first. The multiplayer is going to come out, you know, a little while afterwards, and stuff like that. Now, Don, I don't know how you are in terms of like predicting game releases or whatnot. Like what do you think the probability of The Last of Us 2 coming out in 2019, knowing there's new hardware, you know, right around the corner in 2020, man?
I think with backwards and forwards compatibility, does it really matter when they release it?
You think they're going to go forwards compatibility though?
I don't know. That's the big question mark with Sony, to be honest with you, because you know they don't have a lot of experience with scaling with hardware like that, and
they're not.
Well, I wouldn't count them out right now. In regards to it, I know the developers are asking for it. Doesn't necessarily mean the developers will get it, right? So, but we'll see where it goes.
It's just their fans. Their fans just expect so much of the traditional, you know, console, and I think Sony's kind of scared. They're a little bit like shook to take that leap. And they should do it. I think they should do it. Yeah, go ahead.
There's two customers, right? There's like the fans, like you mentioned, right? And then there's the developers. Developers are customers as well. And if that customer base is really, really pushing it, they're not, you know, they're not just yes men, right? Like they want, there's a mutual benefit of what they're asking for, right? So if they're asking for it, and then that has a lot more weight, especially in the release of a new product in regards to that. So, you know, we'll see if they listen to them, see if they can pull it off. I mean, there's a lot of different things, but I know developers really are pushing that behind the scenes, at least within the circles I know.
Oh my goodness, look at this Shadow of the Tomb Raider gameplay going on right now. I gotta say, you know, if I could vote, I'd probably vote for this right here in terms of best gameplay. But yo,
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
How do you know whose gameplay it is with the new layout?
With the new layout, if you look next to, you know, where we're talking, where it used to have the next logo, it actually has. That is a great question. It has the name of the person whose gameplay is going on right now. Do you see?
Okay, I see what you're doing there. Okay, that's a little more discreet. I like it. I just want to make sure.
No, that was a great question because people might not have known. I know when Mega sees his gameplay, he just goes all in. Yeah, check out, look at my gameplay. It's so amazing right there. But yeah, so people out there in the chat, if you're watching, right in the bottom left-hand corner where you see, you know, who's talking and stuff like that on the show, right next to that circle is the name of the person whose gameplay is running at that point in time. So,
or easier, I'll just play Mud Trucks every time. You guys will know who it is.
Well, yo, Mega, what do you think about the rumors, the 2019? Guys, I did have to step away. The twins were getting kind of crazy in the living room, so I had to step away real quick. I slipped out of the show, went and told the kids what was good and what they needed to do and came back in. So I don't know, Mega, did you share your thoughts on if you think it's coming out in 2019? I know we talked about it last night, but you know, we do multiple shows, so we have a tendency to possibly talk about a couple things more than once, man.
Right. No, look, I think it's just it's just what it is. It's a rumor. It makes no sense. If they did drop it, then again, it would solidify that they would be doing the forwards backwards capability, and then that would give more reason for PlayStation 4 owners to not go and jump on the PlayStation 5 so quickly. It just, so again, it just from anybody out there, it's funny to me because when they talk bad about Xbox is I'm just saying the fanboys and girls out there that talks bad about Xbox and how they have this strategy. It seems like when they bring up these crazy rumors, they kind of implementing these same strategies that Xbox has done. So you know what I'm saying? PlayStation is doing their own thing. They know where their toast is buttered, and that is with those single player experiences, and they want to show them on the best looking system that they on the system that shows the better graphics and all that resolution, all that stuff, than to just show it on their current hardware. So it's not coming out in 2019. It's going to be in 2020. It should be a launch title, and then it's going to be a fun ride to watch to see what the competition does. Not to stir this up, but don't you guys think maybe they might release it twice?
Dude, what?
I mean, they could.
I'm just saying.
I mean, they could, but like
that's their MO.
But that's what I was just saying.
True.
Is
that's
that
what makes you scratch your head right there? It's
right,
their MO.
Because
man.
if they do send that early, right, and this goes with Xbox as well. If they, let's just say that both The Last of Us 2 and Halo Infinite comes out this year, right? What incentive does that give for anybody to want to go get the Scarlet that already has an X? You see what I'm saying? What would be the incentive of if gamers has a Pro of wanting to get a system that's going to be most likely $500 when they could just wait till it's reduced a year or two later? You see what I'm saying? So you want to showcase your best, biggest games,
but that doesn't matter though.
Yeah,
Sony it does though. Sony it does because with Sony it does though, Don. That's what their MO was. That's what they came. That's what they wrote off on this generation. They're not going to try to revert and change it and say, oh no, console power don't matter. It's all about that. No, they're going to have to.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it really doesn't matter if they sell a ton right off the bat. All they really have to do is recover their cost of developing the hardware, and they don't want to lose their user base. That's all that matters. So as long as the user base continues to grow, they continue to be playing their games, which means they're going to be continuously purchasing their games. And this goes for Sony and both Xbox, right?
I'm not sure if Sony is absolutely there yet. I think they're going to be leaning in that direction.
Well, they already hired key people to go that direction already, and the rest of the biggest part of the business world's already moved that direction. So.
And Sony is the one that stands to benefit greatly from maintaining their user base. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So that's the thing is like
they gotta mathematically, absolutely they gotta consider that. They worded it in not very well, but they, when they said the pros to keep people from going to PC, because, people do one or two other platforms after a certain part of the life cycle. And so that's what it's really there for. If somebody wants the best of the best as far as visuals go, and that's kind of all we're really at right now. Like this, I don't see this hardware not being able to be scaled because it's really all we're talking about is visuals. And if we want any improvements on AI, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen on this next gen CPUs. It's going to happen in the cloud. So I mean, a lot of the biggest improvements are going to happen cloud-based stuff, working in tandem with your local hardware. And then you know what too, Don, that when the Soulja Boy console 2 drops, that is going to be a beast.
How does that creep into every single fucking podcast.
Knox, I
man.
thought you pre-ordered one of those.
I
Did you get
did,
yours?
bro. I invested in that.
Right.
Yo, season 2,
Wow.
episode 1, and we are officially done right now because of Knox. All right. I mean, yo,
Yeah.
guys, check this out. Yo, we have almost 100 people watching right now. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button for me, I would really appreciate it. I know the panel would as well. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, definitely now would be the time to do so.
Wait, those buttons do things?
What happened?
Those buttons do things?
Hey, I got buttons that do things. Yeah, I do, man.
You know what? Just hit all of them, guys. Just have fun with it. Like it's
Just
interactive.
hit all of them. So thumbs up, thumbs down, share, all that good stuff.
Share, whatever. You leave comments. You
That's
know.
what Cade would do.
Yo, just hit them all.
Hit them all.
Whoa, what's that thumb up thing that just went across the screen?
Yeah, that was I hit a button that did something, but you guys don't necessarily see it right off the bat because there is a delay. I have no real way of showing you in quick time, you know, exactly what I'm doing. So, but
This is a fun because I love this game. This game is so good. Shadow Warrior.
Warrior 2.
Yeah, Shadow Warrior is really good, man.
Yeah, dude, I got into it. I love the humor, man. The humor in this
the
game.
start off of
drives
the game is just classic playing the Transformer theme. I love it.
it.
Yeah. Or the Transformers the movie beginning. You got to touch. Yeah, that's so great.
You got the touch. Oh man, yo, we're gonna get copyright right now. Yeah.
Not you singing.
Nah,
Yeah,
not.
No.
Plus, you only said like 3 words.
Yo, dude, if I
4
sing it, I'll
words.
just say that Bloody did it, and I'll get off scot-free. Because according to GRG last night, me and him sound almost identical. Yo, shout out to
Bro,
Bloody
y'all
Nuts.
did. Y'all was confusing Lemon. Y'all was confusing. Y'all was confusing operations. Like they had no idea. The panel. I mean, not the panel, but the chat was like, which one said that?
Wait, isn't that why Lemon was talking? He was like, which one said that last night? Was it Bot?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know.
It wasn't Knuckles.
Dude, even the chat. But yo, all right, we're going off the rails here, guys. Let's move on to the next topic. It is a topic that I am actually excited to talk about. There is a game, Xbox One, first party by Rare, called Sea of Thieves, and a lot of people have gone in, you know, became what they call a pirate legend, and you know, going out there and getting their chests and all that good stuff. I had stopped playing it for I would say quite a while. And one of the things I feel like the game was missing was kind of like a story behind it. I wanted to get into some type of lore, some type of story going on within that universe. And Rare has come out and said, I think it's in the next update, that they are putting a story-based update into the game where you can track, I guess kind of like treasures that have lore behind it. There's a story going on, like as you're going out to hunt these treasures and stuff like that. And I got to say, I am really excited for this. I personally feel like this is something that this game has absolutely needed, and I feel like it's just going to shine moving on from this update and moving forward. Don, you came in. I know you are a fan of Sea of Thieves. What do you think about them kind of throwing in, you know, a story behind collecting possibly like certain treasures? I don't think it's going to be a full-fledged kind of like campaign, but I think they are putting lore, they're putting story there, like as you're going. What do you think about that, and what do you think is the importance of this update? Do you think this is something that this game has needed?
Well, you remember every time when they would introduce like the new DLC that they're gonna do that you can download, and they would have like this little tease of a character talking.
Mm-hmm.
And you go play the game, and that character doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I want that to be in the game. I really do. Me and Mega were joking around about imagine having the crazy wild guy where the shark was, instead of giving you these random riddles, have him hop on the boat with you. He goes on the adventure, and he's just like some kooky wild pirate that just basically heckles you the whole entire time until you figure out the riddles and go from there. And I think that sort of thing brings it to be a little more interactive. In regards to that, an NPC can also lead you into trouble, like, you know, running into the shark intermediately as your quest to try to find things and that sort of stuff. So I think it is something that is not part of the game. That's a main staple of games today, and And, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a little bit more reason to be interactive with the world. It's fun with your buddies, and that's what the game is meant to be, and it's meant to make your own adventure. But sometimes you do need that curation type experience. I think that's what NPC players can really offer to the game.
All right. Now, when they said about this update, I'm pretty sure you're kind of like up to speed. What do you think are they talking about in terms of the story and the lore? Do you think they're putting in? I don't think they're putting in kind of like a campaign per se, but I think like the treasure chests that you're going for and stuff like that. There's going to be certain kind of like scripted events that go on. There's going to be a backstory to like the pirate who might have hid the treasure and stuff like that. What do you think they mean by putting in this kind of like story / lore in the game, man?
I think they have to be a little bit careful about that, because one of the charms of Sea of Thieves is people create their own adventure, right? So what you want to do is you want to add context but not answer everything, if you get where I'm kind of going with that. And leave a little bit of mystery, because I think, honestly, a lot of times the public does the best job of pushing story. I mean, look at Halo. Halo's a good example. I mean, people interject so much into Halo. What about this or what about that? Because they don't really answer everything in Halo. They always kind of give you little hints of things and basically let your imagination run wild. And I think they need to have a similar approach with Sea of Thieves when they're given underlying lore. Whatever it may be in regards to that. But, I just want the NPCs to feel a little bit more interactive. I think I think that will add a lot of volume to what's already there. And honestly, there actually is content. It's hard to go on an adventure without things going south. And Mega would probably testify the last couple times we hopped on. So.
Well, dude, I gotta say, like when I was in there playing, I know there was like certain areas where they had like underwater caves, and when I went in there was like weird statues and stuff like that. Like
those adventures have already happened, but there's not much context there. But that's
I want more, kind of like more meat on that bone. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And have it kind of like unravel to something epic. And I feel like that's what Rare is kind of like preparing to do. At least they're starting to do that with this update, and I think they're gonna fill it out even more. But I don't know, Knox. What do you think, man? I don't even know if you go into Sea of Thieves like that. Like, what do you think about that game? And dude, what do you think about them kind of adding story and lore? Do you think this is something that this game kind of like desperately needed, or is it just a cool add-on, man?
No, man, I mean, I think it's something it would absolutely benefit from, but you know how I feel about the fixer-upper, right? Like, if it's not a house that I can sell after I fix it, I don't want to fucks with it. So when I buy a game and invest in that game, I don't want you to fix it a year later and then say, hey, look, it's the way it should have been. Nah, that I don't get down. For me, this doesn't matter. Because I'm not going back to Sea of Thieves. Even on Game Pass or whatever, I'm not. Like, maybe if I got drunk and you guys said, hey, let's play, yeah, I'll download it. But nah, other than that, it'll be great. It'll be a good
thing.
Did you
say you have to be drunk for that? Like, if you're drunk and we're like, hey, let's play, okay, I'll download.
Yeah, because other than that, if I'm sober and you say, yo, Knox, download Sea of Thieves, I'll be like, nah, dogs. I'm playing Anthem. I'm gonna be playing Crackdown. I'm gonna be playing Metro. There's a bunch of other things. I'm not gonna be paying attention to Sea of Thieves. It's too little, too late. It's just like The Division, right? I was hype on The Division. I went and bought that game. And what happened after I finished the 2-hour campaign, whatever, done. It was a done, and that's not what I was expecting. Now, all my friends tell me, yo, Knox, come back, bro. It's great. It's great, man. We do all these missions. I don't give a shit. It should have been great 5 months ago when I purchased it. Not now. Now I'm playing other shit.
Does that mean like you don't like Rainbow Six Siege or anything like that either? Because...
No, and that's another game that I loved, and I hear a lot of great things about Rainbow Six Siege, which I was very open on. But I like the whole like Rainbow Six thing before you know when it was like New Vegas and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the Rainbow Six games that I enjoyed. This one I thought was going to offer that. It went all multiplayer. It was kind of broken too on top of that. And it could be good now, but I'm not willing to go back and give it that second chance. It just took too long for me. That's my opinion. That's the way that I see it. So it'll be good for you guys, for the guys that like Sea of Thieves.
Dude, I can't wait to get back into it now. Like, I want to see what they have in terms of story, because like Rare, I mean, you look at like their past games and stuff, they're really good at putting together story and humor.
And you know what? And that's what I'm saying, Bot. Like, if it for you guys that like it, awesome. I hope they do it for you. I can't condone it. I'm not a fan of the fixer upper, man. I'm not a fan of, hey, buy it now. It's just like, what's that that game made by the dude that lied, the PlayStation.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yes. It's good now, from what I'm hearing,
Sean
right?
Murray. yeah. A lot of people are actually like enjoying that game now that, you know, they got the multiplayer in there and all that good stuff finally.
Yeah, nah. See, it should have been good at launch, and that's my whole thing, man. That's just the way that I am with games, man. They need to be good when you purchase them. You know what I'm saying? When you go out and you shell out. I'm one of those day one adopters, dog. So I'm paying top dollar. It's not fair that the guy that's paying 15 yuccas for the game gets the definitive version, the greatest version of the game. Meanwhile, I went out day one, bought it, was excited for it. You taking me for granted. I can't allow these companies to continue those practices, dude. So I'm not going to support it. So I will not go back to the division.
Moving into the future in terms of games as a service, dude. And this is funny because, like, when I met you, we were playing Destiny 2, and that's almost the epitome of the next update, they're going to fix this and they're going to fix that. So to hear you say this, man, it's a little surprising to me.
Did Destiny taint you a little bit there, Knox? I mean,
and yeah, absolutely, Don. It did.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Knox. I'm just I always try to understand what.
Well, Don, take over for a second. I got to get to the kids one more time. Yeah.
All right. But Knox, let me ask you. So, are you the type of gamer that's like, a game is only as good as its last experience with you, or is it like a first impression thing? I mean, what is it for you? I mean, obviously you don't like it, but you know, there's multiple things that could drive that.
It's the practice. It's the practice of, okay, let's say like with CD Projekt Red, right? When they released The Witcher, right? When they released The Witcher 3, it had its problems, right? But for the most part, it was still a phenomenal experience, right? You saw the quality all over it. Did it get better over time? Yes, it did, right? With the fighting, with everything, it got better. The way they fixed the inventory system, all of that got better. But what was there initially was still a very quality product that I know they put their heart and soul into. They did their best.
So you're saying, if I understand correctly, so yours is more of like, your first impression is it felt like a complete experience.
Yes,
like you got your dollar, you got your value out of the product.
Yes, absolutely.
And therefore you just roll with that.
Yes, and with that I went and bought, but because of that, right? I bought every expansion for The Witcher. I enjoyed it. I still think it's the game of the generation. It's like a game. I mean, I'm kind of going off here, but it's like God of War, right? I wish there was DLC for God of War. I really do, because I would buy that day one. You know why? The quality, the attention to detail. That's a developer that I know put their heart and soul into it. You know what I mean? When you're just trying to do a cash grab, you know what I mean? Like what Ubisoft did with The Division, right? They wanted to just jump on the Destiny train. Hey, I want some of that. So they threw it out there with the hopes of, okay, we'll fix it later. And they knew they were going to fix it later. But you know what? You didn't have a quality product in the beginning. Why should I go back now? I had a terrible experience when I bought it initially, and I bought it at top dollar. You know what I'm saying? I don't get do I get a, hey, Knox, come back for free. The game is better now. Here's the expansion.
No, it's first impressions. I totally get it. You know, like everyone's gonna be a little bit different on this. So I'm just kind of want to know where Knox is coming from, because there's more to what he's saying.
Dude, you can make an entire show. You can make an entire show digging into like Knox's mind. I'm letting you know that right now. Dude, like I said, we have played Destiny 2 a lot together, and that was one of the things when, it came down to getting a new panel member. on the show, he was the first dude I thought of, because you can literally sit here for 2 hours and just pick at like exactly what he's thinking and what he like means by, you know, talking games and stuff like that, and it would be an incredibly entertaining show. But guys, we do have other topics, so I wanna get to K Mega, because I know K Mega is also a Sea of Thieves fan. So I want to know, yo, K Mega, when it comes down to this, the story and the lore kind of like update, how important do you think this is for this game, like moving into the future? And are you excited for this, or would you just still play the game the same way, man?
No, I'm absolutely excited for it. The reason why I continue to keep playing it, because I want to see the enhancements. Every time that I've jumped on Sea of Thieves, there's been some enhancements that weren't there when I first started playing the game. That was something that with these type of games like Ark, these MMO type of games, these PC oriented type of games, they're all like that. That's something that's being transferred over to the console space. And just like when Black Desert comes, Black Desert is going to be completely different in a year once that game drops than what it was at launch. It's so again, like, as long as you're not charging me extra money for this content that you're bringing on, unless it's a crazy huge expansion, like I guess they're doing with Ark, with that Atlas or whatever. I don't have an issue with it.
Hold on, is Atlas like, I thought Atlas was its own game. It's attached to Ark?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, man.
But Mega, you cool with that though?
Well, I'm going to get to you. I kept quiet, so it's your time to be quiet.
He was really quiet, by the way.
I was quiet. I'll let you guys.
I'm just asking you, my brother.
I'm going to address you because you said some sacrilegious shit about the Division. Anyway, but
come on.
No. This is the real talk right here, right? Division was a fantastic game right from the jump. I don't get where Knox come from saying that the game was terrible. What was
that last boss helicopter? Come on, dog. Yeah, the game was great.
Okay, but let me finish. The thing of it is that they weren't expecting people to know life Division like they did. They were expecting like, oh, people are going to kind of go through it, I guess, like maybe with Assassin's, like they do Assassin's Creed or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't even playing Assassin's Creed like that at that time, but I guess they were looking at it like they're going to be doing all these type of missions over and over and over again. When people went all through that game in a matter of a month and they didn't have that DLC ready to go, that's what hurt the Division. And then all these other games came, like you had Quantum Break come out, you had Horizon Zero Dawn, Neo. You had
they were going after the Destiny crowd. What did they expect?
They did it because you know what's happening, because they gave a prelude of what they're going to do with Destiny 2. And look, I've seen Destiny 2 on the show floor, and that game is going to be insane. They're going to have so much content off the
Division
rip.
2, right?
The Division. What did I say, Destiny? My bad.
Destiny 2. I'm like, that game came out already.
I'm sorry. I got Destiny in the brain now. You have to say Destiny's only that time. The Division 2. Look, I seen that on the stuff. I wish that I could have got on it and played it, but I was more, and I couldn't stop playing Battlefield 5. But I watched plenty of people watch while I was standing in line to play Forza and other games. That game is going to be insane, and they're going to have the content, and they're going to and for all the extra content that they added into Division now, that's just, like I said, it's just a prelude of what's to come, and I'm cool with that as long as it was free. If they charge for it, like, it's like I bought the whole pack, the DLC, season pass, all of that from day one. If you asking for more money on top of that, then no. The only game that I could think of that pissed me off, that's, you know what I'm saying, and this is an Xbox game, and that was Halo Wars 2. I bought the season pass, but then they brought the Atriox, like this other side little story with Atriox in his team, and they charged you $20 for it. I was hot about that. I didn't buy it. I was like, no, I'm not. I refuse. For that, Knox, I totally agree. But for when you have games that's built like that, that's what kind of like Destiny is trying to be, is kind of like in that Sea of Thieves Ark type of position, to where it will progress over and over again. But it just seems like they keep missing the point. That's why I'm like, okay, I want to get into it. I want to play it with everybody. And then when you jump in and then the game is broken or they make some kind of crazy fundamental change.
Yo, with Destiny 2, that was a bad night, man. It wasn't usually like that.
Oh my God.
Like,
and hey, that was the first impression for me. Because I was like, all right,
that was bad.
I brought up the light. I mean, I got to the light to everybody told me to get to. I beat the game. I went through it. Let's do it. Let's get through it. And so then when we get to it, then it's all messed up like that. That's an issue. Sea of Thieves don't have no broken issues like that in that sense. It's just that the lack of content that it has from the beginning to now when you get to this point to where people still knock it for saying that, the Kraken is lacking and all that stuff. They implement these type of stories into this game. It's only going to enhance to get people to be more excited about the game that already play it, and then eventually get other people to jump on because it is a Game Pass title. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. I mean, I don't see the issue with it.
But can we all agree that there needs to be, if games as a service is going to be like the big thing going forward, right? Then we can all agree that there needs to be a certain standard, right? They need to deliver a certain standard. They can't just fart in the wind and go, we'll fix it later. Pay $65.
Did you think the Division? I mean, not Division. Do you think the Destiny?
Did he just say Seabreeze a game?
Yeah, he did. Did you just think? Did you think that that Destiny 2, when you first bought that game, did you feel like it was complete, or did you not feel like it was complete?
I thought Destiny 2. All right, I thought Destiny 2 didn't deliver on what I expected. I'm coming from Destiny 1, though.
Okay, right. Destiny 1. Wait, this is the thing about
Destiny 1 was terrible.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, this is the thing that turned me off Destiny in the first place.
I'll tell you.
I was so hyped. I was a day one dude for that. I went and got it, and then you talk about a game that was completely disappointing, and then they wanted to charge you for then fixing up their damn mistakes. That game right there is the culprit.
Okay, but it's the same thing, right?
I can't co-sign for the Division. I can't co-sign for the Division. They just were slow on their shit. And what they gave it to you was free, bro. I can't knock that. No, look, Activision, they raped a lot of gamers, and man, that's why I kind of hold myself on
Activision, that one. Activision gets dirty.
Yeah, they got dirty with it.
Yo, Don, how did this get on Destiny?
Well, I'm just saying it all.
I'm just letting them do their thing.
Yeah,
they got to get your feelings out, man.
Yeah, it all culminates to one thing, right? If you see progression and you're not getting charged for it, there shouldn't be nobody bitching about it. But if they are progressing the game and then they're charging you for it, then that's an issue. Like I said, with Halo Wars 2, when they sit there and you bought the season pass and then they ask you for $20 more or $30 more, hell to the no. You're not getting my money for that. But if you sit there with Sea of Thieves, I already paid my $60. I ain't paid nothing extra. I just paid my $60, and everything else is being given to me for free that they know that they need to fix. I'm not tripping. That's what you want with these type of games.
That's cool. That's cool. You paid your $60. That's the same thing I said, right? If the Division would have gave me everything else for free, maybe I would have went back and maybe I would have been good, right? That's what's enticing you to go to Sea of Thieves, right? Because everything is free. It ain't free with the Division, though.
Division came with dope ass content. It just they took too long. They didn't think people was gonna know life like
that. Division launched broken, man.
The Division launched broken and then charged you 40 yuckers after they fixed it.
I have a question. What's a yucker?
$1.
Oh, okay. This is the thing, though. This is the thing. The Division.
That's a Knox thing, right there.
Ubisoft did not think that that people were going to know life that game and beat that game as quickly as and go through everything like a lot of people did. And
they know the gaming community of fiends.
Well, no. I don't. This is the thing. I really don't think that they did because it was just because we just had me and
hold on. When it came to the Division, when it came to the Division, all right, it launched broken, but I believe it was Nemesis in the chat who has been in the chat, lively in the chat. Huge shout out to LG Nemesis, and I agree with him on this. When it came to the fixes, as they were trying to fix it or whatnot. Those fixes were free, but then it got to a certain point when they're like, you know what,
now it's time to charge you for the content.
We're not really fixing it anymore, and there was still more DLC.
Listen, Ubisoft came through. They definitely fixed the game way more than Bungie and Activision did with Destiny. If anything, Bungie broke their shit like they always do, like they did right now. And that's what I was gonna say, man. This is a catch-22, right? Right now, me and Xbot, for instance, and probably all of us on this panel right now, we like PvP the way it was. We like certain shit the way it was, but because of the vocal minority, and the vocal minority does exist, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
But Bungie done went and fucked the whole PvP up, right? So now you got no rank, nothing for the sweaties. What's the shit for the sweaties again? Because I'm getting tongue-tied because I just get
trials, brother.
Yeah.
No more trials.
You
don't even know when that's coming back, man.
Yeah, you got no more competitive multiplayer for the sweaties. Now they're all integrated.
What's the sweaties?
You know what's a sweaty? You know what's a sweaty? That's a dude that plays for 18 hours, doesn't work, and thinks that he's gonna be an MLG.
You're talking about the guy that eats KFC chicken and touches his controller afterwards?
Right, yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah. As he's playing for 16 hours and one-shotting you with a Luna's howl. That's that guy who is now integrated into the quick play. So when I want to relax and just chill, I got this try-hard that wants to
I
get
have never heard you
kills.
relax in multiplayer in Crucible on Destiny. I never heard you relax, brother.
When I get 22 kills, I'm relaxed.
Okay, check it out though, Knox. Let me make this last point, and we can go to the next topic. But I just You good. Okay, so. This is the difference between Destiny, Sea of Thieves, and The Division, right? Sea of Thieves, you paid $60 or you just get it on Game Pass. The game is still progressing without charging anybody extra. You know what I'm saying?
And because of that, I can accept it more.
Okay, all right.
I'll keep it a buck with you.
Rare made it aware right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we're going to increase this game, and that's why I've always said that. Look, there's going to be more people playing. It's going to be still playing Sea of Thieves, and they're going to be playing God of War, because once you get done with God of War, it's done. Sea of Thieves is still going to keep progressing.
Oh, but I would pay for God of War content.
Do you hear it in his voice? He's like, I would pay.
I would. It was that well done, my dude.
God of War. I would have paid for it. Let's call it. But anyway, after me playing it. But hold on, let me make this point.
Go ahead, Mega.
With The Division. The Division gave great content. You know what I'm saying? And you know, of course, you had to still do the DLC and all of that for the season pass and all of that. But what they did was try to make changes at one point, and the game was completely jacked up, and it pissed people off, and then it went away because there were so many other games out there. And then they just corrected their mistakes for the sweaties, as you call them, that still played in no life Destiny, and made it right for them. Destiny still hasn't found their identity. That's the whole difference between those two, because they don't know where their identity is. People want them to go back to the way they were, of how it played in the beginning on part one, but then yet they want all these enhancements from stuff that they was doing in part two. And like, instead of them just making a strategy and just saying, look, this is how we're going to do it, we're going to stick with it, and you're going to like it. That's just how they have to do it at this point in order to keep changing, because it's going to just piss off everybody on one end or the other. That's the difference.
All right, well, guys, on that note, man, heated conversation, dude. When it comes down to it, I think everybody out there in the chat and anybody who checks out the show afterwards, you do know we are passionate gamers, man. We are very opinionated, and we will definitely express our opinions.
Yo, Bob, can I say one thing, my
brother? Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Real quick, and this is to like if Ubisoft guys or Activision, Bungie guys are listening, developers in general, you know how many people I know that are playing The Division on a PlayStation, right? They played The Division 1. They want to get The Division 2 on the X. But they are afraid that their data isn't going to transition over. Yo, we need to make cross-platform progression a thing, dudes.
Last time I checked, I thought that game was a hard restart on the new one.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah, it's a hard restart.
Are they wiping it? Because that's not what Ubisoft told my source.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
it kind of gave them a blanket statement. I mean, it sounded very general, the statement to me, but it was like, it's something we're looking into and blah, 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 something to that effect. So that's why
it would be kind of interesting if they bring over your character from D1
I wouldn't like it. I didn't like if there was one big complaint was the customization. Well, not the customization of the outfits, but of the people. They didn't have enough people. You know what I'm saying? I was some Asian guy. So, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, there wasn't really no light-skinned black dude. So I was like, I was an Asian guy. So I was like, so I really wouldn't want my character to be transferred over. I hope they start over.
No, that's cool, but I mean, what the concern here that I just want to like put out there real quick is guys that want to move from one platform to the other, but are afraid to do so, meaning they're feeling tied down. They want to approach the sequel on the X. They know it's going to have the enhancements. They know it's going to be the better version. Thus, they want to play there. But they are so tied to their data, to what they've done in the previous game, that if they can't move that over, they're not going to transition over to the better console, which is thus screwing the gamer over ultimately. Correct?
Yo, I hear you, Knox. Yo, Mega, I gotta let you know. Our buddy Chris from last night, Christopher, is in the chat right now.
I saw him in here. He said he was coming after. He said he was coming. So.
Yo, what is up, brother? I hope you're enjoying the show, man.
Well, the GRG faithful is in here, boy. Welcome, Chris.
Yeah, but
PlayStation propaganda in here in the chat. Where everybody will love you.
Yeah, well, Knox, I just want to let you know. I think we're all kind of like in the same boat in terms of cross progression. You know, it's whether or not
that needs to be a thing, and it needs to be a thing more sooner than later.
It's whether or not the companies will do it, though. That's pretty much what
they can do it.
To.
If I kill people in Destiny and it applies to the PS4, as long as we're in the same clan, whatever I do for my clan on Xbox, it benefits them, and whatever they do on PS4 benefits
Your timing's awful right now, just so you know what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, you said the clan, and I just lit the clan's ass.
No, that's great.
Perfect.
Oh,
I'm a blaze, boy.
Well, yo,
you guys know what I'm saying. Cross-platform progression needs to be a thing. That's all I'm saying.
There we go. Everybody go out on Twitter and let people know that cross-progression on multiple platforms needs to be a thing. But on that note, guys, I want to bring up something. I wasn't going to bring it up, but we have a developer on the panel right now. I didn't know if Don was showing up or whatnot, but Slightly Mad Studios, they say that they're throwing their hat into making a console. They're calling it the Mad Box. They're saying it's about 3 years away. They said it is going to rival the PlayStation 5 and whatever the next Xbox is going to be called. They're saying basically 4K 60 locked. They are, for people who don't know, Slightly Mad, they are the developers behind Project Cars and Project Cars 2. They develop their own game engine, and they're willing to give developers, that game engine for free to develop on, to make games for their Mad Box. I want to go to the Don on this, because like we've heard a lot of people's opinions on what this was going to be. I know if you were listening to GRG or Crossfire, you heard me say I kind of root for the little guy sometimes. I don't want the industry just to be all huge mega corporations. I want to see what the smaller companies can do as well. So that's why I'm kind of keeping my eye on this Mad Box thing. But Don, I'm pretty sure you heard about all this. What do you think about Slightly Mad saying that they're gonna throw their hat into making a console and with their offering of the game engine and everything like that? Do you think that there is a way that they could actually get some success here, man?
No,
you're not for the little guy.
No, I'm for the little guy, but I'm for the little guy that has deep pockets, if you know what I mean. So they get the backing with the deep pockets. I just don't. Here's the thing: is you can't say blanket statements 4K 60. Well, what does that mean? Well, guess what? Your Xbox S can do that. Your PlayStation 4 Pro can do that. Your Xbox One X can do that. It just depends on what you prioritize on development. If you prioritize pixel fill rate and frames per second, you can make games that can do that on our current consoles now. So that it doesn't really mean anything. You can't really say, hey, I'm going to outdo a PlayStation or outdo an Xbox, because guess what? You're not hearing from Sony or Xbox doing. They're not saying that out loud right now. They're just kind of holding their cards tight because they don't know if they're going to beat their competition or not. So I love the the go get 'em attitude, and that sort of thing. But you're just going to need a lot more than that. You have to provide what the developers honestly want, and developers don't just want to use your engine; they want to use the engine they're familiar with as a studio on the box. They want to make sure that engine can run the best on your hardware. Basically, here's what you need to do to make good hardware: make it damn powerful, create great tools, and get the hell out of the way. And that's for any platform provider. Like, at a certain point, you just got to get the hell out of the way. I've said this quote before on Twitter, and I think it was liked by Seamus Blackley, because he agrees with me. That's exactly what the original intention of the original Xbox, and that's how all consoles should be going forward if you want support for them. So the question is, are they going to make it something incredibly powerful? Are they going to be able to create tools that can compete with the other guys? And are they going to get the hell out of the way? And I just don't see all those things coming together. I mean, otherwise anyone really can make a console for the most part, or any studio, I should say.
I got you. All right, man. I thought it would be interesting to bring up. Yeah, no Soldier Boy. No, that is a Chinese ripoff with a Soldier Boy name on it, man. But I thought it'd be interesting, with you being a developer, kind of like your thoughts on that. I had a lot of people in the chats that were talking about the dead box and everything like that. They were just giving it no love, and I'm like,
I don't want to do that. That's not fair.
A lot. You know what I'm saying?
That's not fair. But the reality is they have a lot to prove, right?
Yes.
And they have a lot to prove. And you got to remember, all these other companies have been out there. They've been learning from their mistakes. And the exception would probably be Nintendo. They just do new things all the time. So it's really hard to say if they're learning from their mistakes or just trying out different things all the time. So these next consoles from Sony and Xbox, I'm kind of excited just because they've been in the game for a long time, and now they can kind of see, like, well, to be honest, behind closed doors, we screwed up here, we screwed up there. Won't do that this time, and we'll have this approach. And each console, they mature a little bit more, right, to a certain degree. So I'm excited about that. But these guys don't have any maturity. They don't have any experience in that background. They may have a little bit with PS4, just because I'm sure they were closer to Sony at the time and giving feedback on the PlayStation at the time. But that's really about it. I just don't see them having a chance, to be honest with you.
I got you, brother. I want to give a huge shout out to Gavin Gelada out there, who just became a subscriber to this channel. Thank you so much, brother. Definitely stay tuned. We got there's a lot of content on the road coming on this channel. So thank you. Huge shout out. But like I said, I just wanted to hear what your thoughts on it. I know, Knox, you haven't been able to speak on it at all, man. So, dude, what do you think about this whole Slightly Mad trying to get into the console space? Are you at least interested by, like, keeping your eye on it as it develops? Because we don't know, the operating system, if they're building, like, their own operating system for it, which we know Steambox they really didn't do. They just put Linux in the Steambox, and it was basically running off that. So we don't know too much about this, but what do you think about a smaller company like Slightly Mad trying to get into the console space, man?
Well, at least the Steambox, it was still a quality device, and they did have like several partnerships, right? Like they had like something with Razer and other companies, right, to like different variations of the Steambox, right? So this is a company that had a little bit of guap, and Don, guap means money.
Okay, I feel like I'm in a foreign country sometimes,
Okay,
but that's all right. Just keep on rolling, man.
Don't worry, you'll learn Knox dialect. Soon enough.
Keep it rolling.
But seriously,
we're gonna have a segment called "What did Knox say?"
I do agree with the Don, right? Like Dealer put out a video, right? Shout out to Dealer Gaming, but this is a company that was asking for crowdfunding like about a year ago.
That's the only iffy part to me, man.
You can't fuck with Sony. Sony's damn near broke. You think you can fuck with Microsoft? Come on.
Well, look what happened. Let's follow the history of what happened with the Steam Box, right? So basically they started with a Linux OS. They try to optimize it so it's a little closer to the metal for people to develop on, and they let anyone make a Steam Box.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest problem right there, man.
Because all they wanted was a pocket PC, and you're not going to get a pocket PC until the X. The X is the best pocket PC.
But you're missing the point. It was the cheapest way to be able to do that, and they still couldn't pull it off. And what happened? Windows 10 came out, and it was games were running significantly better on Windows 10, and just killed it. It was done before it even started.
I know,
but Alienware released hardware for the Steam boxes, and they're like, oh wait, that's not happening right away. Well, we'll release our own little pocket PC that originally was the Steam box, and we'll make it blue instead of red, and then it just like never happened and never materialized. So, if Steam, which has a lot more money than Slightly Mad Studios,
exactly,
couldn't pull it off, and they got outdone in those areas.
Exactly.
How is Madbox going to be doing all that going with partners? It just doesn't add up.
They're not, unless they got a magical benefactor that no one knows about. Like they got the win Salabin, and they got the genie and shit to fulfill their wishes.
I was just going to go with Rich Uncle, but
Mooch wanted to know where their money was coming from. That was his biggest thing. He wanted to know where, until he figures out where the money is coming from. It's
Rich Uncle. No. I'm telling you, it's a rich uncle. That's all it is.
Listen, if they can pull it off, I'm all for it. Like their ambition and what the project that they're trying to put forward, absolutely go for it. That would be awesome. That would be beneficial to us, especially if you want to keep it like cost efficient, because they're saying they specifically said they want to compete within the console space against Microsoft and Sony. Correct?
You know what? Honestly, see what this actually is they have something on paper. They're going to vendors, but what they're ultimately at the end of the day, they don't care about releasing it. They want someone else to buy it from them.
What's wrong with just like keeping an eye on it? That's the only thing I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
No, there's nothing wrong with keeping an eye on
it. I don't think they plan on releasing it. I think what they're trying to do is judge interest from like the Amazons and the Googles out there. Hey, what do you got?
And you know what? And that's smart.
And that's where if it has a chance, that's where I see it having a chance. Is maybe the ideas they have on paper being implemented behind big money
I
from
agree
those guys.
One of those big money companies look at their shit and say, "Hey, you got something here." Now they got all the funding they need. If an Amazon and a Google looks at them and they go, "Oh shit, you know what? We can compete with these guys. And we're gonna back you up on this. Here, make your dreams come true." Then we got something to be excited about. So yes, this is not a bad thing.
I want to see.
Now my thing is, don't name it the Mad Box. Get the fuck away from the Mad.
Doesn't that remind you of like the Mad Catz controllers from like the 360 era or whatnot?
We have the Xbox.
It reminds me when Knox plays Destiny. That's all.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes,
I will give you that one.
I'm mad all the time, and I play on Xbox.
Dude, if he plays Crucible, if you get into a Xbox Live party and you see he's playing Crucible, guys, either mute him or just back away slowly. That's all I gotta say.
Why? I don't say. I only say kind and gentle things when I'm playing on Crucible.
I'm pretty sure the chat believes you right now. But yo, guys, on that note, I want to tackle a rumor on Reddit, and the reason why I want to tackle this rumor is because when it comes to this game, Reddit is pretty on point with bringing out information before the developer is ready for it, and that would be Assassin's Creed. And I was really excited for this topic because I know.
Let's go, Mega.
I know Knox and K Mega, they have been getting into Odyssey or whatnot. And we are talking about the next Assassin's Creed, right? From the Reddit post, it's called Assassin's Creed Adder, like the snake, Adder. And from what this post said is they're going back to ancient Rome now. I'll share my opinion on that after I give like the information. They're going back into kind of like the Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, kind of like creating your guild system, and they're doubling down on that, and they're making it where the assassins that you put together actually have a ranking system. So the assassins that you put out will actually get ranked up and get put on better missions and stuff like that. In my opinion, that screams multiplayer right there. Like, I would love to have a guild of assassins that was like me, Knox, Mega, and Don just going out there and putting on these stealth kills and contracts and stuff like that. But I will say personally, I feel like Ubisoft is like all over the place when it comes to Assassin's Creed. We were already Egypt, we're in ancient Greece, and now we're back to Rome, which is Assassin's Creed 2. I feel like they're just kind of picking and prodding certain pieces in time. I don't feel like they're following any type of flow when it comes to, the titles that they're coming out with in Assassin's Creed. That's my personal opinion. K-Mega, what do you think about the possible location for the next Assassin's Creed? Oh, yeah, and by the way, they're saying it's going to release in 2020. So that's saying, being there and ready for the new hardware as well. Mega, what do you think about, the location and do you feel how I feel in terms of them, like, flipping and flopping to, like, different areas and different pieces in time? I don't see any rhythm or rhyme going on into, where they are putting you in periods in time with these titles in the franchise. But I want to know how you feel about that. And what do you think about them going back to kind of like Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood with kind of like that guild system and creating your own guild of assassins and developing that out? Is that something you would be interested in, man?
Yeah and no. First off, Origins kind of rebooted the franchise, in my opinion, because of the character that's within the game that kind of can bounce around. And from my understanding is that another character that was a main character on the other Assassin's Creed died. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I haven't played the older.
Man? You got the
the older Assassin's Creed I have not played. I just couldn't stand the first one. And
are you referring to Desmond?
Yeah. So I'm thinking that I think that with Origins it kind of rebooted. Well, but I think that they rebooted it in a sense. With
Ezio.
Yeah,
Ezio is your
Ezio. Okay, all right. Well, whatever. I don't know. Syndicate is when I started liking it. And the ones before I didn't give a damn about. I just like. But anyway, so it would make sense for them to go and redo all this. To add a online aspect to it, I guess it would be cool. I don't know. I love this new formula that they're doing, because there was one thing that I was saying last night to Don and Knuckles and in 108 was that this game is a mixture of a little bit of everything. It's got the recipe for all the great games that came out this generation. It has a little bit of The Witcher. It has a little bit of just other games that we just talked about. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but
so it's gaming goulash.
Yes, it's a gaming goulash, and I love it. I'm like, yeah, this is it. Plus, on top of that, has a very interesting story. Like, if they do, like, also I was reading that article too, and then they were talking about that they were going to bring back like they was going to try to combine Bayek and his wife and Cassandra and Julios. I think that's the other dude.
They're bringing them from the sequel, baby.
But listen, that would be fire. But I don't know how they would do it.
It's gotta happen.
That would be fire.
They are the creators. They're the creators of the.
I don't know how they do it. It would be fire because look, I'm digging Cassandra. I had like 25 people coming, 20 some people come to me and say, why are you playing with the dude? You start off with Cassandra, play with the girl. So I finally just broken down and said, okay, because I wasn't really liking Odyssey at first. The combat system you had to relearn it. And then when you start getting to a certain, and then the story was kind of looking kind of flat. Now, like I said earlier in the very beginning of the show, like the whole story that's going on with that faction, that cult, the cult of the cosmos or whatever, this shit is dope, right? It's like, oh snap. So I would love it because it would make sense, because it's basically kind of starting the whole series, the whole franchise into its own again and revitalizing it, which I think it's bringing characters like me.
And not an Assassin's game.
It's a lot. No, it's not like a hack and slash.
You're wrong, Bot. You're wrong. Because if you put your tree
of The Witcher and other games, that's so dope. Like
if you put your tree to be an assassin, trust me, my dude, you will kill everyone in any fort or without anyone ever seeing you.
Right.
You gotta just invest into that tree, and that's the difference. Guys that played Assassin's Creed back in the days, and I've been playing since day one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't understand that the game has evolved. Now you can
has it evolved, or has they just opened it up to people who don't necessarily like stealth?
Hold on.
They've opened. It's a mix. It's a combination of both.
I think they evolved. Oh, that's another Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War. Like, they've implemented so many cool aspects to this game now that where I can dig it. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't mind sneaking around, but sometimes I just want to get into it. If I know that I'm powerful enough, I just want to get in there and whoop your ass. I just want to show you that I'm an OG and you're nothing. You could be a level 20. I'm a 22, punk. What you want? And then sometimes I just want to do that. I don't want to come and be in snide and stick every damn time.
They got those moves. They got
the RPG elements is fire. The whole aspect of it is more to my liking than the older Assassin's Creeds. And like I said, everybody tells me that Black Flag is still one of the best ones. I got it. I haven't played it yet.
Black Flag was a decent game, man. I had fun playing that. I beat it.
And when I started really liking Assassin's Creed was Syndicate. I had Unity, and then Unity was really broken, and then I went back and started playing Unity, played about 10 hours, and then I haven't gone back to it. But then I started playing Syndicate, and I was like on the PC, and I was like, oh, snap, this is kind of cool. This feels more fluid, a little bit more open. And then with Origins, I was thinking it was going to be more like Syndicate, and then Origins was everything that I wanted with the Assassin's Creed. And actually, I think personally that this rumor is not true. I think that because there's a DLC, and I could be completely wrong, but I think that the DLC to this part of Odyssey is setting up for the Prince of Persia, because it would make more sense to combine the Prince of Persia into this. And then maybe you can add the Roman aspect to it as well. But I think that would just be dope to combine all that.
And we all know that this came from the Prince of Persia.
I just want to clarify something, all right? I'm not telling you guys to not like Assassin's Creed. I'm not telling the people out there in the chat who enjoy the game not to enjoy it. Me personally, I miss the old school Assassin's Creed, which was built from the ground up with stealth in mind. To me, that is the assassin right there. I feel like
but you can do that though.
But this smells both.
It's not the same stealth. It's like it was a different stealth. It was an in your face stealth.
It's like a shallow stealth in these past iterations. You know what I'm
saying? Like, because you had other games that were like, hey, you hide in the shadows, you creep above them, you do all that sort of stuff, right? In the original Assassin's Creed, you're walking tall right in the middle of everybody, killing people unnoticed, unseen. So it had a different element of stealth where it originally started. And as far as Bot's concerned, that's gone.
It's not
that's not really there anymore. There's other elements of stealth.
It's not gone.
It's not
Well,
the same.
What he's talking about? No, he is right. Like,
it's not the same. It's not the same.
Unity, like, yeah, you could walk into the crowd, shank somebody, and then walk off. And then
better is debatable, right? Like that's the thing. Some people prefer the older, and I totally respect it. And some people prefer the newer one, and obviously a lot of people talk about the newer stuff because that's the reason why it's there. In regards to that, but yeah, it has changed. The problem is the original one gave you hope, like, ooh, this is something totally new.
Exactly.
And now what it's turned into, and it's a good game, and I enjoy it.
It's less unique now.
Yeah, it doesn't have that uniqueness, and it's kind of and I was joking around when I said gaming goulash, but I mean that's pretty much what it is.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it's a mixture of like, hey, like it's those conversations you hear all the time. It's making a more open world. It's add this that's in this game. It's add this that's in that game. And doesn't mean those are bad things, but it just becomes like other games at that point.
It's a different game. It's a different game. There's other games out there. You guys were pointing to other games that have a similar structure when it comes to gameplay, where you can go stealth or you can go like quote unquote brutal legend and just go in and slay everybody.
Those games do not do it as well as AC Origins or Odyssey.
But I'm saying, what other traditionally stealth game is out there right now? What game?
I mean, if I'm gonna go traditionally stealth, if I'm gonna go traditionally stealth, I'm gonna go with Metal Gear. And there's really nothing that can compare to Metal Gear besides Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins. Because and what makes Odyssey and Origins even better is that
even Christopher agrees with me on this, man. What?
Well, you can do this at your fancy. You can do this when you want to. If I want to, I can turn the fucking shit into nighttime and say, you know what? I'm going to stealth this whole battlefield.
Right.
This whole castle, I'm going to storm it by stealth.
But it's not the same type of stealth. Like there was a different.
But it's a better stealth.
Right. Well, that's the problem. You get into the subjective nature.
Like,
everyone has an opinion on that. Like,
I understand that is the case. But if we listen to Xbot, we wouldn't have had God of War, right? We would have had another over the fucking show camera floating around.
You would have had a crazy ass God of War.
To be totally honest with you, that's actually the God of War I prefer to have too.
Yeah, I mean,
it evolved from that point.
God of War is a fantastic game, but I mean, I still want
a better one, though, right?
I still want old Kratos.
See, better is subjective.
The other ones that I played through,
right
this one
I like the old school.
To be honest with you,
I gotta
those bumpers.
Disagree all you want.
Do you guys really want Gears of War 4? Is that what you guys want for the next Gears? That's what you want?
What's wrong with Gears 4?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's wrong with Gears 4 is that it's Gears 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Judgment. That's what's wrong with Gears 4. It's not evolving.
Well, I'm waiting to see.
Well, no, they're going to go all out on this one.
I'm waiting to see exactly what they have in mind for it, and then on what they show, I'll decide on whether or not it's going to be something that I get in on. I will say,
to be honest with you, I'm not that hyped on it. To be honest with you,
I will say having Game Pass though, it makes it easier for me to try out new games or games that I'm like, well, I'm not really sure about that mechanic or whatnot, because at the end of the day, I'm only paying $10 a month, and that game's going to be in there the day the game releases. So, I mean, on that note, it kind of cushions that fall there.
That alleviates it. That alleviates the
You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Yes, absolutely.
But, I mean, that was the thing of it with. It's like with
my thing is I want that. I
don't mind that the changes that they did with God of War after me playing it. I still did not like the button layout with the combo system with God of War because it would have been so much better with the buttons. And I know you can switch them to the buttons, but it still was slow and not as responsive as I wish they would be. Now the customization aspect, the RPG aspect of it, I love that. That's really dope. Look, I don't mind the progression of the game. God of War is a great game. I'm glad that Sir Vendetta sit there and hook me up with it. I really do. I mean, I'm saying because I would not have got that game. I would not have.
When it comes to Gears, this is what I'll say. There were some things in the trailer that has me excited. Like when I saw kind of like that
Gears
gun
will be
turret,
fire.
when I saw that gun turret that was kind of like part biological and then part mechanical, and how it like turned and then the gun came up and stuff like that. That's something I haven't seen in Gears 4 and past Gears and stuff like that. So it shows me that they are being more creative with the enemies as well. There are certain things like I would want to be able to run without using the same button that you use to get cover. All right, which I feel would speed the game up a little bit more in terms of just gameplay and pacing. You know what I'm saying? Still have that cover mechanic, stuff like that. But the enemies that I saw in there, graphically, what I saw from Gears 5, what they showed so far, looks incredible, in my opinion.
The only thing I'm worried about is the open world thing they keep talking about. Like
how open will it be?
I think
Yeah,
they're open. I think they're open like God of War's open. I think it's like that.
Well, we don't know. Like
It's
like,
gonna
it's
be
a wait.
weird.
It's a
It's
wait.
gonna be
It's a wait and see. Like that's.
It's gonna be like God of War. If they were smart, they're gonna implement the God of War.
Why would they? No,
I would have preferred God of War to be open. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that boat
Nah, you couldn't.
was trash.
You couldn't have. But you guys
Hated
couldn't
the
have.
boat.
You couldn't
I
have.
hated the
You couldn't have what you
hated
wanted.
the boat riding. Like golly.
Ah, the
To
boat
get
rides
those
were
rooms
dope.
to get the
Okay,
hell
well,
on and start teleporting
that's
from
called a
the-
difference of opinion. You guys can both
Right.
have it. It's totally fine. Like
No, you can't. We all got to think the same. Everybody
the
get
boat
it.
rides
the thing. It's like
That's
I
where
don't
the
mind
end talks
people.
to you know what I mean? Like you gotta understand what these guys want you to do, right? Their artistic vision, right? The boat rides is where the head starts talking. Those shits are fucking strategically and beautifully implemented into the game
That's
to
fine.
immerse you into the game.
But that's the thing with art, though. Like certain things that you're going to enjoy, other people or not, and you can't argue those are not the elements why people enjoy it. But they're the same token that they're polarizing. People are going to have a view that they may not like those things. Personally, I would prefer God of War to be what they did with God of War to be its own IP that's not Kratos, and they do another Kratos God of War style game like they did before. Then you would have two IPs.
Yeah, and
You can't have a God of War without Kratos, though.
No, he's not saying that.
It's coming.
He's saying
It's coming.
Well, he's saying kind of like a game that's modeled after the old God of War with the
Exactly.
fixed camera, the speed,
Well, they tried that with
quickness.
Heavenly Sword, right? Isn't that Heavenly Sword was supposed to be on PS3?
It wasn't.
Be a variant. It was supposed to be a variant.
Oh,
No, it's
shoot,
not.
Dark Lord of Lou is in the chat. What is up, my
with
brother?
the motion controller movements added in.
I know those guys. Just so you know, no, that was not the intent of that game. It was their own game they wanted to make. That's all it was. Sony signed off on it. It wasn't supposed to replace God of War in any sort of way.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, was it supposed to be a God of War variant with the motion controller, the aspect added in, like, because the Heavenly Sword to me is one of the best games ever made. The only thing that crippled that game was the motion controller PS4 motion controller bullshit added in.
PS3.
That's what they wanted to do, and it's gonna resonate with certain people and resonate with not. And,
right.
And you can look forward to now. Like obviously, motion controls haven't caught on. They really haven't.
Right. I mean, because to me, the one problem, the only problem that I have with Detroit is doing those motion controls, and when you do the motion, it doesn't register. I get so pissed off on that. But other than that, I mean, look, I just wish that look, I don't know. Somebody in the chat
we're
was
talking
that,
Assassin's Creed, and we just
I know. I was saying that Prince of Persia can't happen because people owes the person that has the rights to Prince of Persia money.
Ubisoft got all that shit.
Well, somebody was saying that somebody else has the rights to it. That part I don't know. I don't care. I mean, Ubisoft makes enough money; they can pay to have a Prince of Persia game. I mean, it would just make sense to bring Prince of Persia back because of the fact that this little DLC, little extra little thing that they got into the story mode, and then just like going forward, And then instead of just kind of jumping into the Roman thing, now if they can, it could work. I don't know, but like I said, I think it's just a rumor. I'm not going to put it with a grain of salt. But I do. Only thing with this rumor that I will agree with is that it will be a launch title for next year for the new consoles.
See, Mega, you said that you didn't really get into the older Assassin's Creed. I do. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is really, they really went in on kind of like building your own guilds and stuff like that. Anybody on the panel, do you guys remember that with Brotherhood? Did you play that?
I beat that game.
All right. So what do you think about them bringing back kind of like that whole guild thing? And I got to ask you, if does this scream multiplayer to you, like building your own guild with like your friends and going out and taking on contracts together, man?
Now you see, if they want to marry the two, that's a whole different subject. If they want to marry, like doing the guild and having it being a multiplayer thing where you bring your boys on board, that's cool. A whole different thing. Now, in Brotherhood, you did that, but they were NPCs.
You just sent them out on various missions.
You got the best players, you acquired the best guys, and then you sent them out on missions and yada yada yada. Now, doing this with multiplayer. Yeah, that shit could be awesome if implemented correctly, because I join you and you join me, right? And you send me on a mission. Knox, you need to go over here and infiltrate this base and do this. And if it gives me a reward, like let's say it gives me like an item that I'm coveting, and on top of that, it gives you what you're looking for upon my success, that's dope. And that's a dynamic that hasn't been explored.
Yeah,
and that would be pretty tight. I would totally be on board.
To me, that screams that, because I remember the guild from Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. Man, I was all in on those games. I played those like pretty much faithfully until I beat them. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that whole guild thing, that screams having kind of like multiplayer co-op. If they're gonna do like separate contracts or something like that and just have you guys out in that world working together to take out, kind of like random various contracts and things like that, I think that would be a lot of fun right there, man.
Listen, listen, if they were to work a system where members of the guild can be assigned by the guild leader to take on specific missions, and then during the week just do specialized missions that are assigned to guild members to influence the guild or to contribute positively to the guild, that is a great multiplayer dynamic that no one has explored. That would be good.
That replay value would go through the roof, man.
Absolutely. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, it would.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to see. Like I said, when it comes to Reddit, if there's one game when they drop kind of like information on Reddit, it turns out to be true, it's Assassin's Creed games. For some rhyme or reason, I don't know what is going on over there at Ubisoft, but there is somebody like spilling the beans on Reddit, and they usually end up accurate, man. So that's why I wanted to put that in there. But we do got to kind of switch courses, and there's something here I really want to talk about. I really want to touch base, with the panel and people out there in the chat. Speaking of the chat, oh snap, it's Mel is in the chat live from her job right now. What is going on? Oh snaps! I can't wait to have you back on the show as well. I got a nice little layout ready for your gameplay and stuff when you come back on. But guys, 2019. All right, I am calling this the year of the third party, and the reason why I'm calling this the year of the third party is, when you look at PlayStation and you look at Xbox, there's basically 2 exclusives on each platform right now that people are saying are coming out. Days Gone and Dreams on PlayStation side. With Days Gone, I have no idea when that's coming out, but they're saying this year. And then, on Xbox's side, you have Crackdown and you have Gears. So there is a lot of third-party multi-plat games coming out. Now, with that being said, if you go out there on social media, you go out there on Facebook in the gaming community, kind of like pages, you go out there on Twitter and talk to gamers out there, there's been this kind of like trend that I've been seeing where it seems like Xbox guys, quote-unquote Xbox guys, are now fighting back on the Sony extremists, and they're kind of throwing the whole no games narrative back at them. Me personally, I think this is completely stupid to do this. I mean, when you look at when everything's all said and done, like, you know, Sony had sparse years beginning of the generation, and Xbox was coming out with games, and then it kind of did a 180, and now they're kind of in the same boats together. So I feel like this argument when it comes to people is absolutely ridiculous, and I try to get people to think twice before they start putting this stuff out there. Yo, I gotta ask. Let's start with Knox. Knox. First off, have you seen kind of like this narrative being played out on like Twitter and Facebook? And what do you think about kind of like
Twitter.
Xbox guys?
Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah.
I saw it right in front of the building. Forget about Twitter and Facebook. It's like Nintendo and Sega out here.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, what do you think about this? Do you think like, you know, when it comes down to it, or would you condone kind of like the Xbox guys going out there and be like, yeah, give it to them the way they gave it to you last year?
listen,
or like, how do you feel about this, man?
No, listen, I can understand why the Xbox guys do it. You know what I mean? You know, Xbox guys pretty much been getting their ass handed to them.
My bad. Yo, Knox, 1 second, real quick. Yo, Face 23, Brooklyn, New York. My brother, I am not ignoring you. I will let you know. When it comes down to it, I have not seen that Digital Foundry video. If anything, I could definitely make that a topic for next Saturday. We can go in and we can kind of like pick apart everything that they are saying, and we could come back with that topic next Saturday and you know, really go in and share our thoughts and stuff like that. But
shit, I'll look into it right now after I address this issue.
All right. And huge shout out to Oh Snap, it's Mel for using our $2 in the super chat. Yeah, I know there is a question in the chat. I actually wanted to address that before you did the super chat. But all right. Thank you for the support. But my bad, Knox. Go ahead. So you said that you can see why they're going out.
I mean, I could see why Xbox guys are a little salty, right? They're a little, you know what I mean? Like, you know, PlayStation guys, you go to work, you know, they hand you, because this is what it is. People don't look at it at what's going on, you know, in the cut. And when I say in the cut, I mean what's going on the day-to-day lives of everyday people, right? And everyday people ultimately move this forward. You know what I mean? So when you got a bunch of guys at work that are just badgering an Xbox guy, hey, PlayStation this, PlayStation, and it's hard to be an Xbox dude. So when they get that little bit to cling on to, they want to go and yeah, we got this. But it's a moot point. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing is ridiculous. This whole Xbox, Sony, Nintendo shit, that it's ridiculous to just keep going on with this whole, you know, back and forth. Listen, nobody's ever gonna beat Nintendo. When Nintendo throws out a Smash Brothers, consoles, Switches are gonna sell. When Nintendo throws out a Zelda, Switches are gonna sell, or whatever the Nintendo console is named at that time.
Yeah.
When they throw out an Odyssey, those consoles are gonna sell. Same thing with Sony's just gonna sell because I don't know. Sony just got a dynamic, bro. Like guys are just loyal because I just don't buy anything unless it's Sony. And that is really a thing. And you know what, yo, props to you guys, man. You stick to who you like. You like, I guess you must have been there since the Walkman days and the Discman days. I don't know, whatever. But you know, going in about, oh, you know, Sony don't got shit now. Yeah. Stop it. Sony has had shit, and you know what, Sony don't even need to have shit, and they'll still be like, we don't got shit, but we still got 100 million.
Oh, damn.
And that's all they need for the generation. I mean, in all honesty, it's the truth, right?
I just can't believe we are on the welcome mat to like the next series of hardware. We're 2019. You know, I think more and more people in the community and the industry believe that the next Xbox, next PlayStation is coming out in 2020. With that being said, like, why are people still arguing about this, man?
Because people still stick to their, it's the same. Why do people still argue about the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do people still? It's that drive to support what you firmly believe in, right? You must defend whatever you're the affiliate to the highest degree, right? It's the same thing with gaming. It's the same thing with sports. It's the same thing with everything, right?
Does that come with a free cape?
What comes with a free cape?
Defending what you like?
I hope so. As long as it's not from Bethesda, we'll be all right.
Oh no!
Because it's not going to be
against their capes.
Because you know they're not going to advertise a canvas cape and then give you a plastic one.
Oh my goodness!
Well, one's going to be waterproof. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Well, you know, Don. Hey, it's all up to the recipient, right? If you like it, you like it. I can't get mad at you.
Yo, Yobi Dread in the chat said that he has pre-ordered Crackdown 3. Brother, I guess you could say I plan on having Game Pass when it comes out. So I guess you could say, in turn, I kind of pre-ordered it as well. Maybe? I don't know. But, dude, I can't wait. Dude, we got to get together. We got to play that when it drops, man. I'm talking day one, me and you, Yobi, going in on that multiplayer.
I don't mooch much, but that's my birthday, man. So I'm holding out.
Yobi, we gotta get together and play with the Don. I have a feeling the Don will get the game by then. You know what I'm saying?
If I have to buy it, I'll buy it. But if it's my birthday, I mean, I can get it as a gift. I'm gonna try to swing that.
Ooh, that's man, dude. Crackdown 3 drops on your birthday. That's insane.
The day after my birthday, actually.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, wow, but Don, with this being said, I know, first off, I know you're a developer, you're in the industry, and I don't want to ask you any questions to where you would feel uncomfortable, but this is a topic, you're on the panel, so I got to ask you.
You know I know how to dodge things. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I know, man. You are a PR, like, freaking Houdini over here. So, but what do you think about, you know, the Xbox guys trying to push that narrative back at the PlayStation extremists? To me, I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like each platform has had games, you know, especially 2018. Even if people didn't like them or this or that, we had the Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, we had Forza Horizon, we had Ashen come out, we had Below come out. Like there were games on this platform, and of course, you know, PlayStation with the Spider-Mans and God of Wars and all. So, like, to me, I feel like the argument is ridiculous to begin with on both sides, but how do you feel about people trying to throw it back at PlayStation now, man?
It's counterproductive, by all means. I mean, what are you going to do? It's a stick measuring contest over the internet about a platform that's going to have its highs and lows, and they're both going to have their highs and lows, and they're not going to sync with one another. So you just got to have to learn to, I guess, roll with it if you're a PlayStation fan, and you have to learn how to roll with it when you're an Xbox fan. You know, that's in the ideal world, that's what I would like to see. In regards to what people are going to do, totally different story, of course, right? So,
yeah. One thing I will give props to, and this is something, you know, one thing I have seen with these kind of like separate but still together kind of communities. You know, you have the PlayStation community and they're extremists. You have the Xbox community. You have Xbox extremists. One thing I could say is anytime like Xbox dudes try to go at the extremists on the Sony side, they just talk about the games that they like on the PlayStation, and that's it. Like they don't ride with the narrative of the extremists on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Xbox dudes, even though people will be like, you know, Sea of Thieves is trash or the Kraken is lacking, like, who cares what these people say? Just enjoy the game and express your, you know, what kind of like fun or anything, you know, your kind of like experience with the game, and just keep it moving in that direction.
Well, I don't understand validation from people that don't enjoy the same thing you enjoy.
Oh, and by the way, Sir X-Man, hit up that super chat one more time. He said, this dude in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, he looks like Aquaman.
Like that Pez dispenser I showed you? Anyway.
Yo, and then, hold on, Sleepy hit up the super chat and said, Aquaman looks like Jason Momoa. So, we got... Dude, I actually watched Aquaman last night, and I got to say, that's probably the best DC movie I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones for a while. I mean, you get where I'm kind of going with that, though. Like, it's all going to come around to you, so just stay in your lane. Don't worry about validation from people that don't play with you. Like that. Like, here's the thing: if I just don't pay attention to them, guess what? I enjoy the games that I purchase, that I want to purchase, regardless if someone thinks they're trash or they're not. And guess what? They can have their opinion, and I can have my opinion, and we can get along.
That's amazing. Whoa, hold on. Are you serious right now?
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like, why? I mean, I see this pattern in gamers, right? They almost look for justification on what they like. You like it, just share the fact that you like it, and then there's some people that are going to be on board. Hey, that sounds interesting. I want to participate in that. You know, it shouldn't be like, hey, we have difference of opinions and we have a shortage of games. We don't have a shortage of games. We have plenty of games to play. In regards to that. And I just share my experiences with games that I like to play, and you let people share their experiences as well, as long as it's factual. I don't really care if their opinions based on facts, then who cares, right? But it's when they try to mix things up. That's the only time I try to interject. And at the end of the day, there's just Xbox is going to have a low year going into the next hardware. Something's not going to go as planned. I mean, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Regardless how good the leadership is. And the same thing's going to happen with Sony as well, because games get delayed. And because of that, sometimes you may have an off year. It's going to happen. So the egg's on your face when you start making fun of those people. And then, it's on the other foot. They get to make fun of you. And like, I just don't try to engage in that portion of it. So
I got you. Well, Don, you heard what I said. I'm deeming 2019 as kind of like the year of the third party, which I don't feel is necessarily a bad thing when there's like multi-plat games that people have been waiting for, like Kingdom Hearts, Anthem. These games kind of dropping this year. To me, it's a big year in gaming, and it's a big year all the way around because a lot of the most anticipated games that are dropping on every system. Now, for some rhyme or reason, people think like when I claim that it's a bad thing. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you agree that this looks like the year of the third party?
It's only that statement's only a bad thing if it's an N64 because it doesn't have third party support, right? So like,
wow, no, hold on, N64 at third party. I think you're talking more like Wii.
N64
you're talking
didn't
more
have
like
much
Wii
third
U,
party support. Like they had a lot of first party and some third party, but I mean that's what killed the N64.
N64 had the best wrestling games to date, and that is facts right there.
Okay, well, you're entitled to that opinion.
That's all I needed, third party, man.
you're entitled to that view. I've never played a wrestling game. I'm not interested in that. But you get where I'm going with that. So it's only a big deal if you don't have third-party support on your platform. And both Sony and Microsoft have quite a bit of third-party support. So that's not a bad thing. That's third-party is what keeps things rolling. And then the first party stuff is the stuff that gives it the vitamin B shot, right? And gives it a kick. Mm-hmm. And you need both. You don't just do one, you just don't do the other. But there are times when you want those third parties to shine. I mean, tell you right now, people are not going to have time this year. You have two major games that are games as a service with Anthem and what was the other one that's a Tom Clancy one everyone likes?
The Division.
So, with those two, that's huge, and we'll see what we'll see even if Bungie does anything with Destiny this following year. I haven't been keeping up with them in regards to that, and that alone sucks up your time if you're involved in one of those games, and then you're involved in two of those games, and you're trying to add anything from first party to third party in your lineup. Good luck as a gamer that games a lot. I mean, you're just not going to have a lot of time.
All right, I got you, man, and I gotta say. You definitely went in and shared your opinions. I didn't hear too much kind of like PR speak from you. From playing Halo with you and being in party chats and stuff like that, that was actually the Don speaking his mind right there. So I'll give you props for that. Yo, Mega, what do you think about this whole thing? I know you've seen it out there, man. I've seen your name tagged in some absolutely ridiculous posts on Twitter, man. It's for some rhyme or reason. People want to put you into things. So what do you think about Xbox guys trying to dish it back to the PlayStation extremists? Do you feel like this is something that is the right way to go about things? Do you feel like it's warranted? Like what are your opinions, man?
I can't speak for other grown men and women. Let them do what they want to. I just know what I'm going to do. It's just that, look, I agree with pretty much everybody on the panel. It's just this fact. It's just that every company goes through a bad time, and they were in, and Xbox went through their generation, and you know what I'm saying, as a lot of lows than more than highs. PlayStation's gone through it, Nintendo's gone through it. It's just what's going on in it's just what goes on in business. So regardless of people taking these console companies and PC or whatever and taking it to the point of where it's like sports teams, they have to eat crow eventually at the end of the day. So it's like, why even bother? When somebody tells you that a game is dog shit, I just laugh. Like, so why you care about it so much? Like, I mean, if you don't, I'm not going to talk about a game I don't like. You know, I mean, you know, it's just not my nature, and I'm not going to feast into bashing, you know, Sony fans or PlayStation fans, or Xbox fans, or any fan, PC fan, whatever, because of something's going negative. Because if you enjoy something, then I mean, there's something to offer to everybody that they can enjoy during a down period. So it's like, what's the purpose? I mean, look, like I said, I understand while Xbox fans are doing it, because they want to feel the vindication, because everything is looking good for Xbox right now, and they want to kind of throw it into PlayStation fans' face because they've been giving them shit for this whole generation. But again, it's like, it is what it is. I mean, I don't participate in it. You know, when people tag me into stuff, I may say a comment or two, or I'll just leave it alone, man. It's craziness. It's just all, you know, you give an opinion, that's different. But when you start saying that this is going to happen and that's going to happen, I really would like to see these people have that same energy of posting their shit and posting their face everywhere when they're wrong. Because when they're wrong, nobody opens their mouth. They stay quiet.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Is anybody else there? Hold on, I think they'll come back.
Bot lost the podcast.
There we go. The panel is back. Hold on, one more second.
Every time Mega talks, man,
Dude, that only happened once tonight. Like, it was getting pretty, like, it would happen like twice per show the last like few weeks or so, and it only happened once. So I gotta thank you, YouTube, for holding it together, I guess. But yo, Mega, are you still there? Hello?
I can't hear him now. I can only hear you, Bot.
Oh, you can only hear me?
It's the Don and Bot show.
All right. Well, what about Knox? Knox
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, Knox is here.
So the only one we lost K Mega. All right. How about this, guys? I'm gonna put this out there for both Don and Knox, and hopefully K Mega can get back in on this. But
can you hear me?
Oh, there he is. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mega.
Oh my God, I gotta get me a new PC.
All right. Well, check this out, Mega. There's one more question when it comes to this, because I try to think about, you know, us as YouTubers as well, and kind of like, you know, stuff that like we're responsible for, or what we should do, or should we step in here, or should we step in there. When it comes down to this, you know, we are a part of the Xbox community. On a bigger level, we are part of the gaming community.
Right.
So when we see people going out and doing stuff like this, do you feel like we have an obligation? Do you feel like you have an obligation to kind of maybe get in there and try to steer the conversation into a more positive direction when stuff like this happens?
No, because PlayStation people, the PlayStation gamers that or YouTubers out there that says that they're real responsible, they let these shenanigans go. Like I said, I'm not going to speak for another grown person's actions. I can only just do and control what I want to, or what the people that I associate with, in the sense of, like, you know, on GRG, or, you know what I'm saying, what we do on Next. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, if I'm out here wilding and I'm posting pictures of whoever's the head of PlayStation or Nintendo running around in man diapers and shit, then I should, you know what I'm saying, then people should stop fucking with me. Real talk. I mean, I just think it, you know, if you go and fall into the rhetoric of calling people out and talking about their personal lives and making up dumb shit and things like that over video games, then you can't, I can't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at, you know, even if you have drunken rants and then you being upset because somebody on the other side of the coast is talking shit and they wouldn't say anything to you in person, because that's how much of a punk they are, then what? Then what? Then, you know what I'm saying?
That sounds a little detailed right there.
No. I mean, it happens all over the place. I see it all the time. Like I said, I don't block nobody. I just look and see how.
Either,
I just see how ignorant this shit is, and I just stay in my lane. Like I said, I stay in my lane and keep it moving until somebody comes to me physically, personally, and try to put their hands on me or try to step in my space or try to take away my happy aura, then I'm not giving two shits about what they do.
K-Maker's got a happy aura.
You look, man, I got love for everybody. I don't have no hate for nobody.
Yo, Mega,
you
sparked Christopher's interest. He's like, who posts people in man diapers?
Oh, bro, like I said, man, there's people that post all types of crazy stuff, man. Look, you go to. I mean, look, man, it's sick out here, bro. It's sick out here.
Sounds like a person that hasn't finished the internet.
Well, there's people that just do really crazy things just because they go after families and things like that. It's just it's bizarre. But look, man, if you are a gamer, then you're going to socialize with other gamers, and you're going to enjoy games that other people may not like, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. The best thing to do with that is just to say, hey, look, I agree to disagree and move on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's play something that we both like and then keep it moving, or just have a conversation about it. I've never, even during the Nintendo Sega era, how we used to do it was I was a Sega guy. You know what I'm saying? And then I would go over to
a Nintendo guy, to be really honest with you.
Right. And so what we would do is that when somebody had a Nintendo at their house, we would go over there, and the mission was to whoop them on their game on their Nintendo, and then they would come to my house and try to beat my ass on my Sega. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened was that because the competitions would get so good, and that, you know, as gamers, you want it all, that I would contact my mom. Well, not contact my mom. I would beg my mom, like, Mama, please let me get a Nintendo. And then same thing with my friends. Like, they were like, hey, please let me get a Sega. And then we got everything, and then we're being competitive. That's how it used to be. Now it's just kind of like, you know, I mean, if you have a PlayStation and you play on your Xbox a little bit more than your PlayStation, then you're a fraud. Or if you're not doing a certain type of thing or getting certain type of achievements or whatever.
If you don't think a certain game was game of the year, you're a fraud. Like,
right, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm hearing people that's dogging out Red Dead because they personally don't like it, and dogging the game out like it's a piece of trash.
Nah,
you knows better than that, man. I mean, look, it's messy out here.
How would you like to have that person and then Knox locked in the same room together?
Bro, I would sit there and I would have my popcorn ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is the difference, right?
Yo, hold on. Shout out to Nathan Rita for just subscribing. Thank you, my brother. But go ahead.
Oh, man, Knox was just wound up.
Good shit, my dude, for subscribing. That's what's up, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Look at the boy, yeah.
Now, what I'm saying is, this is one thing, my dude. Xbox guys, right? Xbox guys are more prone to being like, yeah, I play on PlayStation. PS4 or PlayStation, let me not say PS4, but PlayStation diehard dudes don't want to know shit about anything with the name Microsoft on it. My dude, they'll go get fucking a Mac just to not have Windows because it got Microsoft's name on it.
You know what fixes that? A sticker.
I get that, but not for those guys. Not for those guys. It won't.
Well, I mean, those are the same people that don't realize a lot of Microsoft tools what makes.
I'm just saying
too. I mean,
Sony got a lot of diehard dudes that just don't play by the rules, my dude. They
So the bigger question is, why would you want to engage with those people?
No, I don't care about.
They want to engage with us, man. Let's be real.
Right, yeah.
Some of these people are my peoples. I play on all the consoles, so they're on PlayStation. And I'll be like, yo, my dude, come over here on Xbox and play this shit with me. Nah, nigga, I won't buy an Xbox. But why not, my dude? Why not? Nah.
It's trash.
Because it's an Xbox. Nah, not even because it's trash, because it's an Xbox.
Right.
That's insane.
I used to have that mentality. So that's why I kind of understand, that kind of, because I was just a PlayStation guy. There was nothing else that I can enjoy. Like, Nintendo was too kiddie. You know what I'm saying? And what the hell is an Xbox? I don't care. It's not. Then, like I said, it all opened my eyes when I played Halo because I wasn't a shooter fan at all.
Man, Halo.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like everything changed, and then so my whole perspective about gaming in that aspect was like, whoa, look, I can like everything. I can enjoy everything, and so that was.
So you think that's kind of a growing up thing for a lot of gamers? I mean, if you really think about it, because you're on the internet, you don't know how old these people are, or if they.
No, a lot of these people are old.
Well, I'm trying to get
everybody's age. I just think that I think Don, really, in all honesty, is that these people really are. There's a lot of insecure people out there, and then they want to try to hide behind the troll.
What's the whole validation of?
Yeah, like I'm just trolling. I'm just trying to get you. I'm just trying to get you upset. Why would anybody? And this is legitimate a question on it. Does everybody that's listening to this? Why would anybody want to get other people upset and find gratification for that? Like, I mean, what I'm here to want to. I wasn't put on this earth.
You know why? Because they feel superior. The person that wants to get
and you know what? And those are the people that got thrown in lockers. They got their drawers stuck up. They pulled up their ass. And those are the ones. No, I mean, just real talk. Like these people that really go and try to be the bully like this now on the internet. They were the ones that were the ones getting their ass whooped and kicked, I guess, in school or through life, and their boss might be tearing their ass up, or they just sit there and they can't handle life the way it is, so they want to hide behind this facade. Like I'm here to be happy with everybody. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I think this is my purpose, is to be here to talk about my favorite hobby in the fucking world, and we can disagree, but damn, really? Why does people mad?
To a certain extent, my dude, you're right. To a certain extent, right? You're right about that. But also, it's just like that affiliation, right? It's just like somebody, they like Nike and they never gonna wear Adidas. You know what I mean? It's just that way.
No, I know that. I know that.
I mean, it's stupid to me. It's mind-boggling to me that they do.
I have a damn PlayStation, and no, I don't play my PlayStation like I play my Xbox, but I can't give, but this is the thing, the difference between a true fanboy and a person that maybe some people will label a fanboy. A fanboy is a person that will say everything negative about the other thing just because they can never give it any, like Halo's all right.
A fanboy's unreasonable.
Halo changed the whole dynamic. Look, Mario changed the whole dynamic. Nintendo changed the whole dynamic of how we do gaming. PlayStation brought the whole dope hype. What's called feature?
They brought mass storage at a cheaper price.
Well, I'm trying to think of the perfect word for it. The mass appeal. You know what I'm saying? Made it kind of like
more mainstream.
PlayStation is the thing that brought it mainstream. Nintendo brought gaming back to life, and PlayStation brought it to where it's mainstream.
And you got to say, Xbox and Microsoft brought that online multiplayer capability mainstream as well.
That's it. Yeah, Xbox is the innovators of this shit. Like that's the thing. Like they all have a certain thing to them that is positive for all of us. But the thing of it is that, like, look, it's because I prefer Xbox over PlayStation, and you prefer PlayStation over Xbox or Nintendo over whatever. It doesn't mean that we got to be in odds like this is some kind of gang shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no thug. Get the fuck out of here.
Everybody wants to put everything to an affiliation.
They're trying to put it into some kind of affiliation. How you gonna try to be banging on wax early in the damn morning and while they're eating bits of bacon? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I'm Sony.
Get the fuck out of here.
O-Snaps is starting to see. O-Snaps is starting to see in the chat because she is a VR fan. She just recently got an Oculus. Our oldest son also got an HTC Vive. She is recently just now seeing that people are like, well, you're not playing the right games in VR because, and then they list off PlayStation VR games. Guys, I understand Wipeout could possibly be absolutely incredible. I love the original Wipeout game on PlayStation, right? But when it comes down to it, you never played World Rally Championship either on an Oculus. And there's probably nothing that the PlayStation VR has that will compete with that experience either. So when you go back and forth, there are highlights for every platform, every device. when it comes to the software and the experiences. All right, and that's just the way it goes. Whether or not you get into like the God of Wars and the Spider-Mans that are on the PS4, if you do, then you should probably have a PS4. If you don't, you want to go into more multiplayer games. You're into racing games on console. If you're into racing games on console, like I would be really confused why you don't have an Xbox. That is one of the big things there. At the end of the day, these fanboys, it's console wars, they're going to keep going. Guys, don't feed into it. Share your experiences and what you love in terms of gaming and what platform you're gaming on. And
sucks.
Oh, goodness. Yo, guys, on that note, we did go overtime a little bit. Yo, guys, everybody in the chat, thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Soldier Boy console all day, son.
Dude, you're gonna have. Are you starting the Soldier Boy console podcast on your channel?
I can't wait for the Soldier Boy console too.
Yeah, like why is he on this?
We're gonna steal like 16-bit Genesis and Nintendo emulators.
Bruh,
it's gonna be great.
That's dead, bruh. They ain't playing no game.
Knox is gonna have that Soldier Boy list of games that he's gonna play.
I got you, baby. You want to know about Soldier Boy 2 console? Come see Knoxximus, baby. I got you.
But guys, on that note, guys, I hope you like the brand new look of the next podcast. For people who follow the show, I am never completely happy with it, so I'm gonna keep on, tweaking and kind of getting everything absolutely right to make it the smoothest. Try to make it the most stunning gaming podcast that you see on YouTube. I do feel like we have a truly unique look with this show, but as with any podcast, the podcast production can be off the chain, right? Absolutely incredible, but it is nothing without the panel. So I just want to take my time and thank everybody on the panel, everybody in the next podcast family. Knoxximus, Don, of course, K Mega, we got O Snaps, we have the Angry Otter himself, and Predator, who couldn't be here today. He was picking up his daughter from the airport, so huge shout out to him. Guys, thank you guys for making this podcast the best it can possibly be. I get excited every Saturday to get together with you guys and talk games for the community, man. Thank you guys.
Yes.
All right. On that note, you got
stop the cheesy shit. Get out of here.
No, I'm serious though, man. Every once in a while, I could put my heart on the sleeve a little bit, man. But guys, you can go over to my Twitter channel at Xbot448 and vote for who you thought had the best gameplay. And then next week they will get like the golden winner kind of like graphics, and we haven't shown that off yet, so that will be next week for whoever wins on gameplay. I did see people talking a lot of awesomeness. I did have Doom, I had Tomb Raider, man. I saw people talking about my gameplay. I don't know, but yeah, definitely go to my Twitter at Xbot448 and vote for who you thought had the best gameplay.
Yo, Bot, real quick, you wanted to know which game we were looking forward to in January, and the joint I'm looking forward to is The Walking Dead, the final season, baby. Let's go for January. I just wanted to put that out there because I want to play that shit.
All right, I got you, brother. I got you. Anybody else want to chime in on the game that they're looking forward to in January before?
Man, it's got to be Anthem.
February.
That's February.
And Jump Force. It's got to be those.
January.
Oh, January? January?
Yeah.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3.
You're not Guacamelee 2?
No. It's Kingdom Hearts 3. I already got it. So
what about Ace Combat 7?
You know what? I'm not into it, man. I haven't played Ace Combat since PlayStation 2.
January has a nice kind of like range of games coming out, man. When you look into it, Guacamelee 2. Of course, you got the Kingdom Hearts. You got the Hitman HD collection, which is Hitman Blood Money, and what's the other one? Absolution.
Warlords.
Yeah, dude. There is so many games coming out in January that a lot of people don't talk about, man. It's kind of crazy right now. But how about you, Don? Any games in January that you're excited for?
Called Backlog.
Okay, so nothing new.
Don wants to play Tropico 6. That's what he wants.
Oh,
no, No, I'm actually gonna try to play the latest Assassin's Creed. I own it. I just haven't even booted it up yet, except for the Google Stream stuff.
Play that.
That almost was a turn off to me. So
you're gonna enjoy that, my dude.
As long as you don't think of Assassin's Creed and your past like history with it,
RPG.
you'll have fun with the game.
Well, I played Odyssey, not Odyssey, but what is Origins? I played Origins, and I heard it's a lot like Origins, so I'll enjoy it. And I just accepted the game that I wanted to come out. It's not going to come out anymore, and just moved on. So. Yeah,
that's where I am. Like, I'm glad people are excited for like the new direction of Assassin's Creed. Trust me, you guys are enjoying a game. I am not gonna like just like throw it to the side, but to me, like I miss the old school Assassin's Creed. But
Bayek Part 2 is good for me, bro. If they want to expand on Origins, because I know that was one of the topics we didn't touch it, but Origins 2, good for me, kid. I want to see that.
Oh, Bayek, I love that.
Guys, I'm watching the podcast on YouTube through my Xbox right now, full screen. This podcast looks fucking good, man. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but man, that looks good on the TV. I'm just saying. But guys, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we gotta get those plugs in. So I am gonna start with the man that I didn't even know if he was gonna be on the show today. Yo, Don, thank you for jumping in, man. I feel like we had a great discussion on the multiple topics and stuff. Why don't you let people know, what you're up to? I do think you made a promise about new content on YouTube. I don't know if you wanna let people know what's going on with that and where they can go to talk games with you, man.
Yeah, the best way to talk games is Twitter, which is the Don_KTR. My YouTube channel, I finally changed the name so it's all consistent. It's the Don KTR.
I'll put your gameplay because there's a ticker on there as well while you're talking. I'll put it.
Yeah, and that being said, also I'm gonna be releasing content this week. Well, going into next week. I was planning on releasing it earlier, but I got all my B-roll footage, but I'm kind of dolling it up right now. So. Just doing the last little bit of touches, and you'll kind of see a series I'm doing on building what the next Master Chief, what I would like the next Master Chief to look like. Doesn't mean it will end up that way, but it is just me doing a creation. So,
all right, I got you, man. And it's good to see that there is content going on YouTube from the Don. I know it's one thing. Like when you were on every week, that was one thing I used to mess with you about, and everything having the channel. It is good to see that you are putting stuff up there. And I can't wait to dive in and check out what you have there for us, man. So awesome deal. Let's move to let's go with K Mega here. Yo, Mega, I feel like we've been doing nothing but talking games for the last 12 hours or so, but with being on GRG last night and having Next, as always, dude, it just feels absolutely natural to talk games with you. But you know the drill. Let people know what is going on your channel and where they can talk games with you, my brother.
Oh, man, you can catch me on my channel, KMega405. Be so kind, guys, to go check out the GRG podcast last night. We, after a long little hiatus, as we, just let everybody just enjoy the holidays. I'm not nobody that just like to we got to do it. We got to have a show every day, every night, every week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody, it was the holidays. And so we took a couple of weeks off and so we came back in it and we had a great show. It was really fun. So come check us out. Also, you can catch me on Twitter, KMega4. Online on Xbox is KMega405. There's a space on Xbox, and on PlayStation, I am K-Poc. Because I was trying to be a little incognito, and then I was like, but see, and then again, of course, the name change and stuff like that. So
yeah, I was just thinking about that, man.
I might change it. I might change it if it works or whatever. I'll change it to just KMega405. Because I mean, when I did start doing it, I was getting hate mail for no reason. I was just like, hey, you want to play a game? You know what? Instead of getting you where did that come from? Huh?
Yo, Mega, instead of getting you into the community and showing what they like about the system, you were getting hate mail. Like, get the hell out.
Bro, like I posted one on Twitter in 2018. Like I was playing Battlefield and I was just like, somebody hit me up and I was like, hey, what's up? And they was like, how's that sea of thieves, that sea of trash and Xbox is dog shit. Like, bro, I'm playing the PlayStation right now.
You're sending me a message on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, can you give me that? I mean, like, it was crazy. But anyway, yeah, you can catch this K-pop. It's K-pop on a PlayStation. And man, look, man, I'm like one of the game, and let's have a good time, man. That's it.
Nice, brother. And guys, stop the presses. But Yobidren, a huge supporter to this channel, to this show, a huge supporter throughout the community, basically came out on the chat and stated that the Don will join us on Crackdown 3, dude. So I think you might have something incoming, Don.
Dude, I'm looking forward to getting older now. This is I've been regretting it all year, and then I find out that game's coming out, and now Yobi finalized the deal. I'm looking forward to my birthday. This is awesome.
Nice, bro. Yeah, and Yobi, man, like he is the guy who, when he heard me talking about the Super Nintendo Classic and how excited I was for that, but I didn't really pull the trigger. He was like, he's just one of those many people in the community that was like, you know what? Here's the deal. I am sending one your way, and that is just absolutely amazing. I step back kind of like in awe at times on what the community does for each other out there as gamers and everything.
I do have a rule for the community. If they do buy me games, they have to play with me, though.
Oh, so, he said we're going in together, all three of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Like that is like a hard, facet rule. If you buy a game for me and it's multiplayer, we're gonna go tear it up together. That's all about having fun. So
nice. And of course, last but certainly not least, the man who when he drops content on his channel, man, I am one of the first people in there. His sense of humor, his opinions, just the common sense when he talks about gaming on his channel, I absolutely love it. I definitely suggest, people go out there and check it out. Knox, man, why don't you let people know where they can check out your content, and of course where they can talk games with you, my brother.
Yo, everyone can always holler at me at @DKnox on Twitter about gaming, about whatever. Just hit the kid up. I'm always available. And you know what? I haven't put an episode out, and that's on me, man. I've just been dealing with a lot of personal shit.
Oh,
but
trust me, here on Next Podcast, we're used to hearing that from people. Yeah,
no, that I don't have.
Hey, there's a free clinic for that. Don't worry about it.
I know, right? There's ointments and shit for that, Mega.
But you got hemorrhoids in the mouth anyway.
Oh, you know how you fix that? It's too vinegar.
I see the Honey Smacks man. The Honey Smacks man wants to get wicked with it. The Honey Smacks and shit.
I don't know if he's talking about money again.
No, I'm
talking about the cereal. He's talking about Smacker.
I'm talking about Sugar Golden Crisps. Yes. Mega knows about that.
Yeah, I know. Hell yeah. Smackers.
But you know what, man? Yo, tomorrow I'm putting the episode out, kid, for real. In Knox We Trust, right here on YouTube. On Saturdays, right here with the Next Podcast fam. You already know how we get down, baby. Much love to everybody, man. 2019 gonna be a great year for all of us. And the panel, the chat, it's gonna be good, man. I'm loving it, man.
Hell yeah. Season 2 of the Next Podcast is officially underway. Yo, guys, everybody in the chat, all the supporters, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. For people who can't check out the show live, huge shout out to all you guys who check out the show afterwards. The love and support is greatly appreciated. We have a lot in store for you guys in 2019, so stay tuned. And as I say every Saturday, we will check you out next Saturday for the Next Podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Peace.
Word.
Oh, yeah.